intro. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who, and you can follow me these days on Twitter as well at Dan Who Reviews. How you doing? Happy Thursday. But as always, I'm not on my own. It is Thursday after all. I couldn't do this on my own, have I? I've got Hero Dog Collections, aka Brandon, is here with me. How are you doing, my friend?
Yo, happy Thursday, brother.
Do you hear how more enthusiastic as I sound when the camera goes on? To be stressing out a minute ago about my headphones.
Yeah, I know. You and me both. About 2 minutes before the chat, we both kind of we crawl away from our work laptops to our home laptops, and we kind of we boot them up, and then we're here like, okay,
honestly,
let's go. And then we see the chat, and then we see everybody's here, and then suddenly it's like, boom, we're here. The energy clicks in, and we're there.
I'm happy. As soon as I'm here, I'm happy, but most of the week I'm busy. I ain't as I said, praise the Lord for Rich, because Rich has been the producer of this show.
Oh yeah.
He just he fell into a job and now I won't let him go. So Rich, as always, has helped us out today. But how are we doing, people? Happy Thursday. You know the score. Yes. As always, spread the word, put it in your Instagram story, tweet about it, tell your friends, tell your mom. I don't care. If they like action figures, we will probably end up talking about it. And it's Dan Who channel. I've been doing Marvel Legends for 4 years, but I like other things. So we thought, why not, for the first time this year, talk about something else? Because tomorrow we may end up talking about Marvel Legends again, but I'll talk about that in a minute. So for anyone who's here live and for watching on the replay, today's stream is inspired by the leaked news that happened last week. So last week was a Hasbro Fan First Friday for the Power Rangers team, and they revealed what Wave 9, I believe, is in the Lightning Collection.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're talking about
9.
Yes. So we'll talk about them briefly. But then after the reveals, some leaked sort of store codes hit Instagram and Twitter and whatnot. And it was TMNT, which is Turtles, and if anyone knows, as I said, I got all excited and brought this. I was aware of it, but I hadn't brought it yet. So, anyone knows, there was a crossover in the Boom comics, and they have done comic-style figures in the Lightning Collection line so far. They did, they've done the Dragon, and then they've done the Ranger Slayer, I think it is. Slayer. Yeah. So, we know that they do the comic stuff. So, TMNT, Turtles, and Power Rangers has to be this, right? We don't know, but this is where we're going to talk about it. So we'll wait for a minute. And we'll give you an opportunity to say hello so Brandon can jump in the chat. So for everyone watching in the replay, for everyone's live now, that's why today's stream, and we're going to go into a whole Lightning Collection discussion. So obviously we'll touch on the potential and possibility of Turtles and Power Rangers. But no one knows that for sure yet. We're just speculating. It's just rumors, but it's fun to speculate, especially when two of my childhood franchises combined in action figure form. How could I not want that? And what's fun is that me and Brandon are basically a generation apart. And now we can talk about our attachments to these two franchises with the two generations apart. Because if you believe it or not, I know you probably can't tell, but Brandon's 10 years older than me. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. You can't tell, but
oh yeah, no, I look good for my age, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, but
pushing 40 now,
It's all fun and games. So Brandon, if you've got the chat open, because I always struggle with that sort of stuff, say hello to the people.
Yes, let's have a look.
Thank you very much.
So we have 36 people here with us. It is great to have you all here. Looking at the chat, so Damien says, kind of surprised you didn't have Korvac on your list last week. ML and MCU worthy. Are you allowing NECA TMNT in the discussion tonight? Keep up the good work. Thank you, Damien. Tonight is not necessarily about the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but we'll get into that more as the stream goes on. Big Will 2K99 is here. He says it's Thursday. You know what that means. It's morphin time. CJ is here, says pow. Rich, the best producer in the game, says AAA.
I.
What am I talking about? Sorry. CJ says, yes, we've been talking about getting a Korvac for years, and he was even on the Avengers cartoon. I'm sure he would have been made by now. They won't put him in the movies because they think he's overpowered. The Wolfpackers are here, the Wolfpack Tour Review. Strident says, hello everyone, can't stay long, got to shovel snow here in New Jersey, best wishes. Best wishes to you guys over there as well. I know that the
yeah.
snow is coming down heavy there. Some guy called Dan Who says, pow, pow, go, go, Ninja Turtles. Jamie says, hey. Thor 2012 says, let's go. And by the way, Leo is the best turtle, hands down, followed by Donnie.
We can get into that.
I think there's going to be some heated debate around that, I'm sure. Home Dude says, yo, what's up, guys? We got Nathan is here. And Nathan still has both of the Spider-Verse Marfex figures before I have even had one. But hopefully tomorrow is going to be the day. Flexing Collection says, yo, UK. Who else we got? We got Sunny is here. We've got Andy Davis is here. Tac Tac Customs is here. Marcus is here. Who else we got? Captain Mackay is here, or McKay. Excited to be here live for the first time. Always like these streams. It's great to have you here. Thanks for joining in the chat. Damien says retro Spider-Man figures, hoping for never made 90s Hammerhead, Shocker, or any baddie would be nice. Let's talk Legends maybe a different day tomorrow maybe. Mark Rose says what's up, bros? Dean Wilson is there. Jason Lopez is here. Action figure expert. Marcus says a Lightning Collection Foot Ninja. Their designs are just generic ninjas, so they can reuse them for other ninjas that appeared in maybe Lightspeed Rescue or Ninja Storm. That's a great idea. Z-Man is here, says, hey, everyone. And we are all caught up. So, and Phil Jones is here, the best hype man in the game, too.
Wow. The whole crew is here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, like Brandon says, we can talk about Legends tomorrow because I've been trying to be on my best behavior with the missus because I don't want to be a week behind with what could potentially be some really good Marvel Legends reveals because tomorrow, the 19th of February, is the first Marvel Legends live stream Fan First Friday of the year. And you know it's February, so that means it's Toy Fair season. Now, usually Toy Fair would get hit with probably in competition with San Diego Comic-Con, but with the most toy news of the year. So I'm guessing they're not going to give us as much as they would have given us at Toy Fair. They'll hold some back, but they'll give us a little bit at least. Some new stuff that maybe there's been rumoured that will now get confirmed, or maybe some new stuff, wave confirmation, who knows. But here's the Dan Who Reviews channel, Brandon. So I do think we should talk about this just for 5 minutes. Let me just grab this up on the screen. So tomorrow, as I said, Fan First Friday, Pulse, Marvel Legends, 1st of 2021. Should be fun. And as I said, as long as the missus is kind, and then hopefully tomorrow, me and Brandon will be back for a special Friday night live stream, basically recapping all of the Marvel Legends news. Fingers crossed, people. As I said, I've still got a day I've got to behave. So, but we shall see. But that is what it's all about. So, Brandon, I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to sort of talk about this guy's tweet. Again, just a few minutes on this before we get into the Power Rangers stuff. So,
oh, man. You know, it's tough. You know, Ryan says, you know, for those looking for hints, there are none. But
he's he works for Hasbro Marvel Marketing. He knows what people are looking for. There are 100% hints within this picture. So for anyone who doesn't know what we're looking at, in the middle of the screen now, between mine and Brandon's faces, is Ryan Ting's tweet. Instagram post. Sorry, Instagram post. Yeah. But he's obviously it's on his Twitter as well. Of his setup that he has nicely behind him during his live streams. Now in this post it says, "Stop looking for hints" and blah blah blah. But there are 100% hints in here, right? So before the fun of the actual reveals tomorrow, I thought, as a live stream, let's just zoom in a little bit and see what we're thinking, because I know Brandon had some ideas and I know Phil Jones was telling me some ideas. So let me enhance. Let's do the old 90s video technique. Enhance. Enhance. Right. So what we got? Right. Top shelf retros.
Yes. So look, you know, we're rumored. Well, not so much rumored, but there's a huge collector cry out for another deluxe Spider-Man retro for Lizard or Rhino. I would like to think Rhino would get that treatment sooner because he was an older builder figure, and I did sell mine last year, expecting that we would see one anytime now. But I think there was it Dan that tweeted a picture of the Lizard Toy Biz retro card?
Dan Yoon posted a picture of that, and Again, like they're marketing people. They don't post things without thinking about them. So they're either winding us up or dropping hints. So some potential retro reveals, especially with that Fantastic Four. We do know there's a Fantastic Four wave. We don't know yet, but we sort of do know. So maybe confirmation. Maybe they'll let us know. And maybe some Sentinel.
Phil Jones had mentioned Phil Jones had mentioned, with Deadpool, that February 30 years ago was Deadpool. I think what's 30 years ago? 91 was Deadpool's first appearance. So we could be seeing something Deadpool oriented tomorrow.
Well, you could get a Deadpool variant on that card back easy, not a problem.
Easily. And then with Sentinel, it could be the box art for the HasLab.
Yeah, maybe some teasers for that. Underneath, we've got some of the new figures. We've got the Silver Surfer, Thanos, Kang, some Hand Ninjas, Crimson Dynamo, some more Builder figures. But if we scroll down a little bit, there's MODOK that we're yet to see. But MODOK's surrounded by AIM soldiers. We move along here past Stiltman. We get some more army builders. So those two, plus the Hand Ninjas, plus the AIM soldiers, there's 4 army builders on the shelf there. They said more are coming. Are we going to see another army builder tomorrow?
I would like to think so. And I also think that this early on in the year, it's kind of the time that we might see one. I think it was at Toy Fair last year that they actually announced that initiative for the the £15 price point for army builders. So I mean, I'm hoping some. If I'm honest, I want to see female shield agents, if anything. I reckon we could get male shield agents. But I would like to see some female shield agents, just because we've already had the male shield agents. But it's been a while. That was 2016 that they were released, so it's about time for sure.
And what else? What else?
That Hawkeye.
Let me just enhance a little bit more. Enhance. What's
Rectangular
going on here?
Rectangular has been reporting on a rider Hawkeye since about mid last year.
Ryan Ting is not so proud of his Toy Biz Hawkeye Marvel Legend that he needs it on display right now. That is there for a reason.
I gotta be honest though, as much as this figure wouldn't fit, I mean, I've got it still, it's bubble wrapped in a box upstairs, but it doesn't fit on my display anymore. But that is one of my favorite Hawkeye figures that has ever been done. For its time and for a long time after it, I think it was really definitive Hawkeye, but it's outdated now. But I mean, someone had commented on his post saying, Rider Hawkeye, it looks like I might have to sell my retro one. And Ryan said, I wouldn't advise that yet. So that's the thing. He's playing with us. He's playing with us. Exactly as you said, he knows what he's doing. He's playing with us.
Well, shout out to a Miles Morales fan for the 99 cent donation. Much appreciated, my friend. So yeah, maybe it could be like Hawkeye with Lucky, and it's like a more modernized Hawkeye. Lucky the dog, obviously the pizza dog. So who knows? Yeah. So if he's saying don't sell your classic, who knows?
That's the thing, because I would I was expecting it to be a new, like, classic Hawkeye on the thing. I was expecting it to basically be a redo of that. But I would welcome a modern Hawkeye redo, just because I love the 2014 Rocket Raccoon one. It's still on my display 6 years later, but I would love to, or 7 years later, I can't remember, but I think 7 years later. But I would love to see a new butterfly body, maybe some, in the Psalms or something like that for Hawkeye.
What my predictions for tomorrow are, we're going to get maybe the rest of the Bring on the Bad Guys wave revealed, because we sort of already have been teased what they are anyway. We did a whole 2 streams on it. And then maybe the Iron Man wave as well, because I think Dan Yoon as well posted an Iron Man picture. Again, I'm taking anything they're tweeting and stuff and blowing it out of proportion, but that's the fun of speculating. But one thing I do definitely think we're getting, if I enhance again, go right to the bottom down here, that is it. Marvel Monopoly confirmed, people. Marvel Monopoly confirmed. Go. It's confirmed. You heard it here first.
So, a fun tidbit about Monopoly down there. I think Ryan started on Monopoly with Hasbro.
He did, yeah. He started on the thing. So, so there you go. Yeah. There you go. That's Ryan's tweet again. Instagram post. We're so blowing it out of proportion. We shall find out tomorrow. Literally, we only have to wait till tomorrow. So, yeah. As I said, fingers crossed, we'll be back tomorrow.
Despite what you think might get revealed, Dan, what is the thing you'd like most to be revealed?
From what we know, and shout out Miles Morales fan for another Another
Yes,
super chat
thank you so
donation, much appreciated. From what we know's coming, what I'd like to finally get confirmed and is the Fantastic Four retro wave. I'd like to know what version of the Fantastic Four we're getting. I would like an all translucent variant of Sue Storm, like we got in the original Toy Biz figures back in the day. I'd love Thing in a trench coat and a hat, but I don't think that will happen. But mainly, I want the Fantastic Four in their classic blue and white. That's the more iconic. That's my mind's eye version of Fantastic Four. I'd love to see that. And MCU stuff, I'd love to see the Disney Plus stuff revealed, but I don't think they're going to do any of that until after Falcon and Winter Soldier. However, I would love a 2-pack of Scarlet Witch and Vision in their comic-inspired outfits, but do you know the Halloween outfits from WandaVision? So if that's just me just picking something to dream of, that's what I'd love. I just think it'll be such a fun thing to have on the display. I don't think it's going to happen, but yeah. So I don't think we'll see the Disney Plus stuff revealed tomorrow, by the way, people. I think that's going to be later in the year.
Yeah, I think if there was anything that I could pick to get revealed tomorrow, it would be the Disney Plus stuff, just because I really want to see what it's going to look like.
Yeah,
I want to see if Falcon and Bucky are just going to be the same, if they're just going to be repaints of the same figures we've had twice over, or if they're going to be updated. I really want to see them updated, especially after those Spider-Verse Legends. I really want to see them updated, and especially after we've seen especially after we haven't seen a rumored, probably not going to happen, but probably will happen, Eternals wave that may or may not be pinless as well. I really want to see where they take the MCU. Because the saddest thing about not having Toy Fair is if we had Toy Fair, they would have shown us everything to come in this year's special program.
Yeah,
we would have seen a couple of different exclusives with Walgreens or Retro or whatever, and the Army Builder as well. So, but I think Ryan had said in that post as well. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So,
indeed,
but those big weekends, SDCC and Toy Fair are huge. So it's a shame. But anyway,
yeah. So
back to something slightly else.
Yes, there you go. Right. So Power Rangers, obviously today. So before we get into it, since Miles Morales fan has started it off real quick, just want to quickly mention, if you do want to contribute to the show and have your super chats and your opinions, your thoughts, engage in the conversation with us, be part of the show. It is so easy. Friday will read out your super chats for over £4 or $4. Everything goes towards the channel, is much appreciated. Help the channel grow, support the content, all that good stuff, and be part of the show. That's what's fun about the super chats, is that they get read out live. It interrupts the show. It's an instant interruption of the show, instant engagement. I do think it's really fun, and I do love when people get involved. So yeah, super chats are open, people. But as Brandon says, today's stream is we've had our Marvel Legends fun. We'll save that talk for tomorrow. It's about Lightning Collection. Now, Brandon, what I said earlier about you being 10 years older than me is that the generation gap between us means that we are way into this franchise are completely different. So I remember when Power Rangers Mighty Morphin first hit our TV screens. It came over to the West from obviously the stuff that was going on in Japan and all of that, and it was westernized and all of that nonsense. But I was there on the ground floor when it was Power Ranger Mania and they were the number one selling toys. And my mum tells me that she remembers queuing up at Toys R Us for Power Rangers toys, like back in like 93, back in like 93, 94, like. And I remember the toys vividly, like very well, like Turtles and Power Rangers are definitely toys. Turtles, Power Rangers, and Action Men are definitely toys I had as a kid. So my step in the door was Mighty Morphin. I'm very curious to know what your step in the door for Power Rangers was.
So my earliest memory of Power Rangers was my older cousin. I think he's maybe 6 years, I want to say, older than me. I think 6 years older than me. He had, or maybe a little bit older than that. Anyway, something like that, 6, 7, 8 years older than me. And he had all of the Mighty Morphin Megazords, right?
Okay, yeah.
And so that's my earliest memory of it. But if I'm honest with you, I remember watching all of the reruns from Mighty Morphin all the way through until SPD. So my favorite, my personal favorite season though, we'll get to later on. But it wasn't until a few seasons after In Space, a few seasons after Mighty Morphin, that I was like, that is like I grew up with Mighty Morphin, but it wasn't like my it wasn't my ideal version of Power Rangers, but like my favorite iconic Power Rangers for me personally was a few seasons after Mighty Morphin. But I did grow up with Mighty Morphin, and I did love Power Rangers pretty much from the get go.
Yeah, that's what's like. We're getting to Turtles in a minute, but Power Rangers and Turtles are like two really good examples of franchises and brands that have managed to survive by reinventing and changing. Now, Power Rangers did it a lot more, but that was their whole gimmick. That's what made it fun. Is like it wasn't like a change for the sake of it. It was like it was all part of the story, and they adapted, and characters swapping in and out made sense. So again, I think Power Rangers and again Turtles that would reinvent itself every now and then are two really good examples of franchises. That's why, if this leaked news is true, this is what's really fun. So let's get into some actual pictures here. So again, thanks to producer Rich that sorted these out for us. So as I said, what got us talking about Power Rangers in the first place is last week's live stream where they actually revealed Wave 9 of the Lightning Collection. So again, shout out to Rich for all these pictures. And look what he's done to me this week. Last week I was Nova. Look at me now. Now I'm Evil Rita. So stupid. But I love it. Okay, so Wave 9 is Carlos, which is black in space. Kai, which is blue Lost Galaxy. The Tenga...
Blue Lost Galaxy.
Yeah, Tenga sort of... I remember these from the movie. They were Ivan Ooze's little winged henchmen, but they were eventually in the TV show after the film. And then, is that Bridge? Is that SPD? Green SPD, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, beautiful. So
yeah, that's SPD. And I think, just quickly on that, I think that Carlos head sculpt in particular is one of the best we've seen from Lightning Collection so far. The others are okay, they're good, but that Carlos is amazing.
Well, we're on Wave 9 now, so I would have to think that they started off pretty good. Like, there's no denying it. Like, So now, absolutely. Nearly 2 years in, because this was first revealed, or I think the first figures came out in 2019, so we're 2 years in now. Wave 9, like, it makes sense for them to only get better. Which makes me dreadfully think, damn, are they going to re-release figures that are better and then I'm going to have to rebuy and all this nonsense. But what's my favourite out of this reveal is, of course, the villain, because it's a Mighty Morphin villain. It is it's another sort of army builder as well, and it's a single-packed one as well. Like, the Putty Troopers the Putty is pretty hard to get. He's in a 2-pack with the... like Dino Thunder Green Ranger, and he's in a 2-pack that was an exclusive in the UK. It was Comic and Cocktails. Now it's nowhere to be found. Like, so the Putty, who's probably the most recognizable Power Ranger sort of like foot soldier army buddy, is so hard to find. So I love that they've put this straight away in just a single wave, no exclusive, nothing like that. So you can order a couple. So I've already got myself a couple of these on pre-order. Yeah, these are good. Now I just hope Ivan Ooze, but again, we'll talk about wishlist later on. What's your favourite out of these four?
Oh, it's tough because I'm really excited to get Bridge, because it means that we're one step closer to finishing the SPD team. But that Carlos, man, I mean, exactly like you say, like there are some solid offerings with the head sculpts from Lightning Collection, Black Series, Marvel Legends, but every now and then they'll do one which is like, it is just above and beyond the rest, you know? Yeah. And I really think that Carlos is one of those above and beyond head sculpts. So, I mean, this is probably my favorite wave in a while. You know, I think this is the first wave in a while that I'm like, yes, I'm all in on all four. So we'll see. But the other thing is that the pins are starting to get a bit old, man.
Considering that it basically is the same body, reuse. You would have think that they could have done a pinless. Maybe they couldn't at the time, because these were probably developed in like 2018. The pinless thing is quite recent. Maybe. Even if they just started to phase it, you know, and but wouldn't you be annoyed, right? So take Bridge for example, right? You're collecting the SPD, right? If he came out pinless, but then you've already got, who have you already got? The pink's already coming out. It's not out yet, but it's coming out.
Yeah,
the red,
is pink, red, blue, white.
Okay,
and black.
Okay, so the ones that you did, wouldn't it annoy you if
it would? That's the thing.
The previous ones had pins, and then the recent newer ones didn't. So I think it's probably best that they stay consistent. I know exactly what you're saying and agree with you, but I do think for the sense of consistency, they should at least get these teams finished with the pins. And then if the new technology is there for this much articulation, which we can assume it is by now, then they can start releasing like these packs or something like that.
Yeah, you are right. It's tough because exactly like you said, this is a case where it's literally you will rebuy all of these figures all over again, pinless.
Yeah. And
and I'll be excited about it, don't get me wrong, but like it will hurt at the same time. Right. So it's just, but I really, that's my only gripe at the moment with Lightning Collection is that I'm getting a bit tired of it. You know, like take these figures for example, right? Yep. Like I'm excited for them. I'll get them, and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's great. I got you know the new looks, but that's all it is. They're just new looks. You know.
I think when you start getting these teams that you like all rounded up and finished on the shelf, and you can now start building like a whole. Because at the minute, I'll show you people later. Because I've got my actual camera on a long wire today, so I can show off some stuff. But my Power Rangers is like a section of my shelf, which is great. But when the full teams are finished, and I've got Mighty Morphin all team, and then I've got Zeo, and then I've got In Space, and then I've got their villains behind them. I do think this is the type of line that will look very impressive on the shelf eventually. But I understand what you're saying. It's very tedious. It's like not much exciting. It's not a lot to get excited about because you're just like, well, who's next? Who are they releasing next of that team? Who are they releasing next of that team? There's nothing. There's no like. So I know what you're saying. It's a little tedious. And it's a little like it's a slogging a little bit. It's like, come on now, we just get all these teams finished. But again, it's the toy business band, and we know it is. So like, we just have.
That's the thing. I know. But I sit here and I think about it. Like, how would they improve that? I don't know how you would. Just thinking about it off the top of my head right now, like I don't know how you would improve that collector or that fan experience in the meantime, because exactly it's just like I think sometimes if they were to release my favorite Power Ranger tomorrow that they haven't already released, how would I feel about it? And I would be like, well, the last favorite Power Ranger that they hadn't already released that they released, I was like, yeah, this is great, this is cool, okay, I've had this figure before, now what? You know, so but I think you are 110% right. When the teams start to finish, that's why I'm excited for Bridge, because with Bridge, then you only have yellow to go, and then that's it. We're done with SPD. You know, for the most part. So I think you're right. That it's simply you know.
Well, take
it's
SPD.
A marathon, it's not a sprint.
Take SPD for example, right? So like I've never seen that version of the Power Rangers ever in my life, right? But I love action figures, and I love Power Rangers. So like I love that their costumes all have the numbers like on the side as the colours go on. Like I just think it's a really cool design.
Yeah,
like,
I love
so
it.
like
I love it.
I'm really tempted to just get that team just for display. Like I just think they look cool. So like
man.
So like these
and SPD is one of the best seasons by far. It's one of my favorites.
So when these teams start to finish and these figures are accessible, I'm going to be like, okay, I may as well get this team, and then it might make me dive into the source material or whatnot. Like Power Rangers is one of those weird things where, apart from the movie that I've rewatched a couple of times, I've never went back and rewatched the shows. Like so, it's just it stays in my head as that love that I had it nostalgically. Like I don't know how well it ages. Probably doesn't age well, but I'd still like it maybe. I don't know. But it is one of those shows I haven't went back and revisited. But I'm curious to like go back and revisit the changeover. Like I can't remember too much the changeover between Zeo and In Space, but I know I watched a bit of In Space and dropped off. But in my brain, I can't think, well, how did they get from Zeo to In Space? Like I know Turbo was in between that as well. Maybe I like. Do you know what I mean? Like I can't remember. So I'd love to go back and just figure it out, because the continuity makes sense, don't they? It's not like just one day the season ends, the next season starts brand new. Like the same actors cross over from Turbo Zeo to
so
In Space.
Zeo goes to Turbo, and then Turbo goes to In Space. And I think and I mean post Zordon era there still are crossovers, but it's slightly different. It's a slightly different setup in that it is more like regimented. That it's like, okay, this is this team. Okay, now there's a new team. Now there's a new team. Now there's a new team.
Yeah.
Whereas between Mighty Morphin and In Space, you did kind of get like some carryover across seasons.
Interesting. So, like, before we get into it, because now producer Rich has put some very good slides together for us. We're going to talk about all the figures that are missing from certain teams, exactly what me and Brandon were talking about. People now are just waiting for these teams to finish. So let's go through these teams and see who we're missing. We're going to go all the way up to SPD because that's basically... as I said, I only know the first couple of seasons. Brandon knows a little bit more than me. But before we start any of that, everybody in the chat, just drop your favourite Power Ranger season, like your favourite Power Ranger team. Just briefly, before we get into the discussion of each team individually, or what we know of each team, just drop, just at the top, what's your favourite team? Is it Mighty Morphin? Is it Zeo? Is it In Space? Is it Lost Galaxy? Is it SPD? Is it Megaforce? I don't even know if Megaforce is a Power Ranger team. I just made that up.
It is eventually, yeah.
Is it? Yeah. See, there you go. See, so just quickly drop in your team. Let me see if I can get the chat up on the screen. We'll try and get the chat up on the screen between me and Brandon, because I'm very, very curious to see what people are saying. Okay, so here we go. It's starting. Right, so it's starting off. For 2012, thank you very much. Starts us off with definitely Mighty Morphin. Jimmy Boy says, hello, lads. Hello, Jimmy Boy. How you doing? Jamie says, Mighty Morphin. Marcus G says, I got the purple Dino Thunder figure. I'd love the Dino Purple. Yeah, I'm sure it's coming. Z-Man says Wild Force. Interesting. Big Will, Mighty Morphin.
And just quickly, just while he's here, if you guys haven't already, go and check out Cap Lives' Instagram.
Cap Lives is the guy. Talking about
photos are phenomenal.
Cap Lives is the go-to guy for Lightning Collection figures. So yeah, go and follow Brian. Cap Lives on Instagram. Treat yourself if you're a fan of the Lightning Collection and Power Rangers in general. If you want a reason. If you're like on the sort of edge of buying these figures, you like Power Rangers, but you don't think you need the toys, Brian's photos will change your opinion to make you want to go and get one because he makes them look that good. Right, let me jump back in. So, Tac Customs, how you doing this evening? He says he only knows Power Mighty Morphin. I'm sort of on that same boat, Mark. I'm sort of on that same boat. Andy Davis, the legend that is, my best friend from the US. Sorry, everyone else. Season 3 of the Mighty Morphin, Ninja Rangers and Alien Rangers. Oh, yes, okay. So Ninjas was sort of like after the film. That's where the Tanga Birds sort of come into play. Antonio says SPD and In Space are my favourite. Damien says, they're talking about something else. That's fine. Tyrone says he only really knows SPD. Okay, so anyone of sort of my age, you're sort of you would have aged out of Power Rangers eventually. We all did it. We all thought we got too cool for Power Rangers and stopped watching. I should have thought about this. My mum's actually got videotape of me in my back garden, like pretending I'm a Power Rangers, like as a 6-year-old kid, like, hiya, hiya, hiya. I should have got that. That would have been pretty funny to watch. But yeah, so like, I remember going to see the Power Ranger movie in the cinema as a kid. Like, I remember it. So I was like 7 years old, 95. Yeah, 95. So I was about 7 years old. Marcus G says...
I wasn't born yet.
Oh my God, Brandon. Brandon wasn't born when I went and seen the first Power Ranger movie in the cinema. I was sat there in the cinema eating popcorn, and Brandon was nothing but an idea in his mum's brain, just a future conception.
That's crazy.
That's what I'm talking about. This generation with Power Rangers is madness.
For sure.
Okay. People, thank you very much.
You know what is really weird? Sorry, just quickly.
Yeah.
The latest version of the Power Rangers, those actors wouldn't have been alive when Mighty Morphin first premiered.
That is nonsense. That is nonsense.
How crazy is that?
Yeah, that is not madness.
That is how old like Power Rangers has been. Let's have a look. Who else we got here? So,
by the way, thank you.
A lot of SPD.
Thank you to producer Rich as well, who's just posted Cap Lives Instagram. I'm going to pin that to the top of the chat. So anyone who's here wants to go and follow Cap Lives for all your Power Ranger ACBA goodness, go and check out his Instagram, Cap Live. Thank you very much, Rich. Pinned to the top of the chat. But yeah, like you said, Brandon, it's a lot more scattered than I thought. To be honest, I thought we were going to get a lot of Mighty Morphin or a lot of just the same. It's pretty different, which I like.
Yeah, it's good. It seems to be, I think, that the Mighty Morphin and SPD are the top two contenders by the looks of it. Uh, Phil Jones says, I was in the pub when Dan was watching the Power Rangers movie.
I thought when I first read that, I thought he said he was in the pub when he watched the Power Rangers movie. I was saying, what really cool pub had a Power Ranger movie showing? That would have been a great pub. But yeah, beautiful. Okay.
Marcus says, I was born in 99, so I guess I came around when Lightspeed or Time Force came out, or Wild Force. Listen, Marcus, those are some of the best teams. I agree with Marcus. Lost Galaxy is so underrated.
I've got a little brother who's 10 years younger than me, right? So in my house, toys and cartoons were on in my house for a long time after I was stopped being interested in them. Do you know, like, so I remember all these other incarnations of Power Ranger toys being around in the house, and I remember just thinking, who are these? But so it was always in my subconscious a little bit, but I like how it's so scattered. And again, a prime example of how generational Power Rangers is. It's like a consistent presence, and bravo, because something like other cartoons and toy lines from the 80s. I know this is Power Rangers 90s, but just an example of toy lines that find it hard to reinvent themselves are stuff like what's it? I was about to say Thunderbirds. They're not definitely Thunderbirds, but Thundercats and He-Man. Like, these are like 80s cartoons that had toy lines, very successful, but couldn't really rebrand, couldn't really like reignite that next generation. Where Power Rangers is reigniting that next generation, which makes you curious of what else there was. Like, if you like something and you know there's more content, it always makes you go looking for more. So like, that's what's so good about Power Rangers. It's done that. So Brandon,
another question as well. Was Turtles 90s or 80s? When did the Turtles
80s.
start?
So Turtles like literally debuted when the year I was like born, or the year before I was born. So like, as I grew up, because I was a young lad, I was a boy, obviously. Everyone brought me toys as a kid, and because Turtles like the most selling, most popular toys on the planet at that time of me being a kid, I literally grew up in the first like 5-6 years of my life. I just had Turtles toys, Turtles.
Yeah.
A bit of Bucky O'Hare thrown in there, a bit of Power Rangers a bit later on, but yeah, Power Rangers and Turtles, Action Man, Bucky O'Hare. These are the type of toys I had. I had Kenner Aliens as well, even though I'd never seen an Aliens movie yet, until I've told the stories many times that my dad would let me watch these older films as a kid. Like, but then Trevor McDonald, the 10 o'clock news, would interrupt the film, and I'd always fall asleep halfway through Predator and then wake up. They get confused that Predator and Terminator were the same film because I'd never actually seen the full film. Never mind, it's a long story. But can I just show some stuff, Brandon? Right. Let me just go full camera. Sorry, Brandon. Right. So I said I've got my camera on a long USB cable today. Hello, how you doing? I feel like I've got a vlog. Hey, welcome to Dan's vlog. How you doing, guys? Smash that like button. No, I hate that. Right. What am I doing? Oh, damn! I've messed up my cable. Okay. Can you see all? It's like I've got a toy shop on the floor.
So funny.
It's like.
Have you even opened that In Space Astronomer?
No, it's just here. So I haven't opened this yet. So I'm not buying doubles of In Space. Okay. So I've got yellow and red. So In Space is one of those things where I might wait until I've got the whole squad. Like, I don't know yet. I don't know. I have brought. Obviously, all the Mighty Morphin. I need to review this or sell it while it's hot. I don't know what I'm doing with this yet, but he's there.
Sell it while it's hot.
I've got all of the Mighty Morphin figures like on my shelf right there, but then I've got them in display cases as well, like, because Power Rangers. Come on now, people. So all of these Mighty Morphin are in display, nice shiny display cases. They look very nice. I just wanted to show you an example of, like, I've never seen Dino Thunder, but we all know the controversy of Dino Thunder and his helmet. That's got the actual repainted helmet on people, by the way.
We still need to talk about that. Did you say you had a spare one of those?
Maybe. I was 50 quid, it's yours. Okay. SPD. SPD. See, I've got an SPD figure. See, look, I've got the dog guy.
Yeah, Doggy Kruger.
See, that's just a cool figure, like a Power Ranger with a dog head. That's pretty good. Yeah. And then Dino Charge. I only got red because he was in Wave 1, and then black. At first, I thought I was going to collect every Black Ranger. I thought that would be fun, but that would just look weird. So I might.
Have you opened either of those Dino?
No, not at all. Not at all. So there is another one of these, right? I'm missing one. There's yellow as well, right, or gold, whatever they're
called. Gold, yeah, for Dino Charge.
So I need.
I think that Black Dino Charge goes for some money as well on the aftermarket.
There was like
about red though.
There was like 20 of them in my Smiths before lockdown. So,
yeah.
And then Zeo, of course. I've been buying doubles of Zeo. Zeo. So on my actual display, I've got Power Rangers all there lined up, and then I've got Zeo behind, and then I've got like the baddies up there, and then behind Batman, I've got the Lord Zed's throne, but there's Batman in the corner. No one ever sees this part of the display. Like you only see the legends behind me. Yeah, there you go. There's the Power Rangers. Then Turtles. So Power Rangers, Turtles, Power Rangers, Turtles. Do you see what I'm doing here, Brandon? See what I'm doing here?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Right next to each other as well.
Let's talk about it. Okay, so as a kid, I had Turtles and Power Rangers toys. Now, as a fully grown man, you wouldn't know it, the amount I talk about toys, but trust me, I am a fully grown man. Let's talk about what could possibly happen in the toy world. Hang on. Images. Pow. It might actually happen, people. It might actually happen. So right there, we have the Power Rangers and Turtle crossover. So as I said, it was a comic crossover event, and it's actually could be happening in figure form. Now, someone mentioned this in the Discord a while ago. Make sure you join the Discord. Links in the description below. Someone mentioned this a while ago in Discord, and I was like, I'd love it, but it won't happen. And then these leaked lists come out, and I was like, this makes perfect sense. I just never thought it would happen. But then I thought, just think, Playmates or Nickelodeon's like the master license holder for Turtles. NECA are doing Turtles. Super 7 are doing Turtles. Mattel did Turtle figures of the Turtle and Batman crossover. Why can't Hasbro? Do you know, I like it. Like, why not? So, I love this idea, Brandon. I don't know if you can tell, but look at these in figure form. Like, I know you know. So, tell us your love for Turtles, Brandon, because everyone knows mine. I've been like, everyone knows my love for Turtles. Tell us yours.
So I grew up with the 90s films for Turtles, but my love for Turtles really took off with the 2003 animated series. Those were like my iconic Turtles as I grew up. And so, I mean, I was at first I was like, would I really want to get these? But then I just there's several things that made me say, you know what? Yes, I am all in to get these. The first is that they're so unique. Yes. Right? Like these as action figures, these will be so unique. The second thing is because crossovers like this don't happen that often, if at all. And lastly, because Hasbro are making them. Right? Like, I know you love the NECA Turtle stuff.
Yeah.
But other than the 90s NECA Turtles, I wouldn't really go into any other Turtles that they're doing unless they did the 2003 animated ones. So therefore, and as much as I love the 90s NECA Turtles as, you know, display pieces, they aren't the most posable or the most like fun factor figures that are in the collection, right? But when we're talking about Hasbro, we're talking about really good articulation for that price point. You know, ankle pivot is guaranteed. We may even get butterfly joints with these. When you think about Lightning collection as it is, you know, the ab joint, the diaphragm joint, like, I think the fun factor with these could be through the roof because it's Hasbro and because Hasbro are putting that effort into them. So yeah, I think I'm going to be all in with these for sure.
So let me just address something in the comments. So Mr. William in the comments says that was DC Collectibles, not Mattel. You are correct. My point still remains, though, is that the Turtles have been licensed out to many companies to create figures because Turtles figures have been selling like hotcakes for 30 years. Like, the toy industry knows that. Any executive or manager that works for a toy company right now was probably paying with Turtle toys as a kid. So, like, that's why this resurgence of Turtles is all over the place, because everyone who now works for these toy companies were playing with Turtles as a kid. And Turtles is still in the mainstream, whether it be films. Like, the Michael Bay films weren't great, but they were out. Like, what, 2014, 15 was the last one? Maybe even later than that. I can't remember. But, yeah, crazy. And these designs, like, and like you said, Hasbro, we know we get accessories. We know we get articulation. Like, we know they'll be well made. Do you know, like, everyone, like, I love the NECA stuff, but I know a lot of people complain that NECA has QC issues. I've got quite lucky, not really had that. I do take care of my figures, though, as well. But the QC issues I have with Hasbro figures is like, I don't know, 1% out of 100. It's not a lot. Maybe a few sloppy paint jobs on the faces with faces and wonky eyes. But overall, I've always been very happy with the quality of figures I get from Hasbro, especially at the price point as well. And the way this is how a weird way that I justify figures to myself, Brandon, all right? I always think to myself, okay, I want this character, I want this figure represented on plastic on my shelf in action figure form. If I was going to get that custom made or get someone to commission that to make it myself, you're talking hundreds of pounds, right? So if one of the figures you want happens to be an import from Japan and it's going to cost you 60 quid, yeah, that's probably a little bit too much for a figure. But just think, if you had to go and make that yourself, you got to travel to Japan, pick out the materials, pay for tooling, pay a designer, sculpt it. Think about it, you're actually saving yourself thousands of pounds, hundreds of thousands of pounds, so you don't have to make it yourself. So if you're ever struggling to buy an action figure, people, that's how you justify it to yourself. Think to yourself, hang on, if I had to make this myself, the cost would be too much. So that's my weird way of justifying high-priced action figures. But yeah, I read this basically, Brandon. I literally read it front to back when it arrived the other day. And what I love about this is that if you're a fan of Turtles, Mighty Morphin in particular, and Power Rangers, this is not just a gimmick where the Turtles cross over. Well, it is a gimmick, but I mean, like, side characters pop up as well. Like, it's not just Turtles and Power Rangers. You get, like, Rita like interacting with Shredder and teaming up, and then Rocksteady and Bebop actually get turned into the giant monsters. Like, Rita makes them grow, and then the Turtles combine the Megazord with a massive metal head. Baxter Stockman creates a hybrid of the Foot Soldier and the Putty people. So there's like Putty, like this is what I think we might get in a 2-pack, is a Putty. Let me jump to the main camera a sec. So where is it, main? So there's a Putty Foot Soldier. Like, that's an army builder all day long. Do you know what I mean? A Putty Foot Soldier. But yeah, this book is full of loads of random stuff. And so the tease list, and again, someone can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, is 2 2-packs or 3 2-packs. I can't remember. Someone correct me, because I should have had these written down, but I don't. So everyone would assume it's the Turtles. But April O'Neil is the Pink Ranger as well, which I love that fact. It's like, April O'Neil is the Pink Ranger, which is crazy. And then Shredder has the Dragon Zord crystal, the coin, sorry, and Shredder is the Green Ranger. Like, come on, anyone who loves these franchises, this concept is crazy. And in figure 4, if you're like me, you're a fan of these franchises, and you also collect action figures, mind-blowing. Crazy. So let's ask the chat.
Yeah, I think while we're making the not predictions, but while we're thinking about what those could be, I really liked what Rich Displayed Once had to say, which was that he thinks that we will likely get. I'm trying to remember how he paired them up again. I think it was he said something like Leonardo and Donatello together.
No, I think he said he said Red Jason or something. Rich is in the chat. Rich, you tell us what you thought your predictions were, because he said I think he said one of the Ninja Rangers.
I think it was Leonardo and no, because there's 3 2-packs. I think he said that it was going to be one where there was 2 turtles together. So Leonardo and Michelangelo, it might have been. Then Donatello and April O'Neil, Pink Ranger, and then Raphael, Red Ranger, with Ninja Tommy. Not Tommy, sorry, Ninja Jason. I'm pretty sure that was the way he said it.
Well, as I said, there's lots of different... We'll skip through these images now because Richard's put some images together for us of different character designs that could possibly... Because we know we're getting more than the Turtles. But as I said, so many side characters appear in this story as well. There's potential for anybody, really. We could get another Rita. Do you know, like, they've got a Rita mold. They want another way to get her out. They could give us a Rita and Shredder 2-pack, even though we know Shredder's coming single packed or whatever. But still, let's go through some of these potential figures. So... let's just pause. Let's just press pause a minute, right? What happens if this 2-pack is these version of the Turtles? Because just think, no one said it's the hybrid Power Ranger Turtles, have they? So
from the Boom comics. So I mean, I would take it at the same time. I'm not kidding. I would really take it because the thing is that. I mean, we've had... Who have we had from in space? We've had Andros, we've had Yellow,
Yellow, red, and we got
yellow,
black on the
red,
way.
and we got black coming. So it could easily be similar to what Rich has said. It could easily be 2 turtles, and then 1 turtle with the Pink Ranger and 1 turtle with the Blue Ranger. You round out your in-space team, and you get the Ninja Turtles. So that would still be a solid offering from Hasbro, because the other thing as well is that's the 90s versions of the Turtles.
Yeah,
so
cartoon.
I would, as much as I love the NECA versions, I would love those versions from Hasbro, just because how Hasbro make their figures.
Yeah.
I would, as excited as I am around the Boom stuff, I would love that. That would still be really cool. I would still get it.
I loved Turtle cartoon growing up, but I never gravitated or never got engaged with the live action Turtles show on Nickelodeon or Fox, whatever it was on.
Right.
I didn't like the female turtle. They just threw it in there to try and get girls to watch it as well. It made no sense. She came out of nowhere. Yeah, I'm just not a fan. But this would be a massive, you're not wrong. This could be a massive swerve because all we've got is leaked list. Nobody knows actually knows for certain it is this version of the Turtles. This is what everyone wants, but the swerve could be, we're giving you the in-space cameo version of the Turtles. I think Rich has actually written down the episode somewhere. So yeah, this is the first time the Power Rangers and the Turtles have teamed up. And this is the episode Shell Shot, where they were brainwashed by Astronomer to fight the Turtles. So this could be a Lightning Collection swerve. We shall see. I hope not. Anyway, moving on. This is what you were talking about in regards to Ninja.
Yeah, so I mean, I think these are really cool. I mean, I would go... Listen, I would clear G.I. Joe off the top shelf, right? I mean, they're only on the top shelf because that was the only shelf I had left for them. But I would clear my G.I. Joes off the shelf to make way for more Lightning Collection if we got this stuff from the Boom Studios comic. I just think it looks... I think the designs are cool. I think the figures would be cool. I mean... It would just be cool, man. Yeah. You know.
So this is when the Turtles got the coins off the Rangers because the Rangers couldn't transform or something, and because the Turtles were mutants, they could. So Splinter basically decked out the Rangers in this sort of ninja gear. That's why you see Jason with the swords and whatnot. So yeah, these would be. Let me just get through what else we got. So there's, I think, a massive one. You put Green Ranger to anything. Green Ranger and Tommy Oliver's just a massive fan favorite as it is. Now you put Shredder. Yeah. As the Green Ranger, that's a fun mashup character design as well. And this one's rumored to be single packs, isn't it? That's what the leaked list is saying.
Yeah, this would be would be its own.
So
thing.
If this is the leaked single pack, then that's what sort of gives me hope that the 2 packs are the actual Power Ranger Turtles and not the other way around.
And the other thing is I'm pretty sure the listing does say Boom. Green Ranger,
so
Shredder for the listing. So
that gives me hope that the Turtles we're going to get are the actual hybrid Turtles. There's Tommy the Foot Soldier. So Tommy, that's the whole reason the Power Rangers go to New York, by the way, is Tommy's cousin or someone, I don't even know if they mention who he is, but some relative of Tommy, someone he grew up with, goes and joins the Foot Clan, and Tommy goes and infiltrates the Foot Clan to try and rescue his mate, essentially. But it doesn't. Shredder knows he's trying to infiltrate, and Shredder tries to grab his crystal, all of that good stuff. But again, Foot Soldier Tommy would be a good shout, or a Foot Soldier with an interchangeable Tommy head would be a good shout, and then you've got an army builder with an interchangeable head. Okay. Before we move on to those, so let's just say, people, let me just skip back to these, and let's just say, just overall, a hit or a miss, please, people. I want to see you light up the chat with a hit or a miss. Do you want to see these Power Ranger Turtle hybrids created in a Lightning Collection for our displays? Hit or a miss? We'll put it up on the screen and let's see what the chat say. Hit or a miss? Just write hit or a miss. Give me a turtle emoji, whatever you want to do. Show, do you want these turtles, these Power Ranger Turtles? And why the chat are writing that, I'd let the chat catch up a second because they're a little bit delayed. What I love as well, Brandon, is that my favourite Power Ranger growing up was the Black Ranger, Zack Mastodon. Just thought he was cool, like black. I don't know if you can tell, I always wear black. It's literally, I'm like a cartoon character. The only colour on my wardrobe is black. So I love the Black Ranger. My favourite turtle is obviously the best turtle, the most intelligent turtle, the turtle that only needs a stick as a weapon because he's such a badass, Donatello. Donatello is the Black Ranger. How about that for fate? That is like...
That is true. That is very true.
Okay, so
that is very true.
We're getting a lot of hits here. This is beautiful.
This is, I think I've only counted 2 misses. The rest are hits.
Big
Huge
Will,
hits.
Big Will with the miss. Big Will.
Yeah, Big Will.
I love you, but what are you
missed,
doing?
yeah.
Big Will, what are you doing? Come on now.
And this is the point, right? Nathan says, have no connection to Power Rangers, but man, they look cool. And that is the point with these figures.
Yeah.
You know, it would be, it's the kind of thing that's like, oh, but that's a really, like, if you're into action figures, just period, then you would probably pick them up just because of how unique and how special of an occasion it is to get that kind of a crossover with those huge franchises.
You'd never have to have read the comics, right? As I said, Power Rangers and Turtles, these are franchises, these are brands that are subconsciously in the zeitgeist, or whatever you call it, in pop culture. If you mention these to someone walking down the street, if you go to someone, do you know what a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle is, or do you know what a Power Ranger is? Generic, most people will probably say yes. Not as everybody, I know, but most people would say yes. So just the idea of these on a shelf or like in figure form, people may just be curious or think that would be a fun figure for your kid. Like, oh, Power Rangers and Turtles crossing over. Like, so these have like so many different generations, different fan bases. Yeah, this is great, and a lot of positive in the chat as well, which is what I want to see.
Sure.
Apart from Big Will, sorry, dude, I'm a prude, not keen on crossovers. Okay, fair enough, Big Will. Fair enough. Okay, so that's enough of me getting hyped about figures that ain't even announced yet. Like, we don't even know if these are coming. No idea. And we've already spent an hour of the live stream talking about possible toys. That's what we do here on the live stream. We chat nonsense. But still, let's get into it. So now we're going to get into the Lightning Collection on its own, on itself. We're going to go through the teams and sort of say what's missing. So I've already showed you some of the Lightning Collection figures that I've got. I've got some on display. Brandon would obviously tell us what he's got as we go through these now. Because I think Brandon's got a lot more teams starting to build than I have.
Hold on.
Well, you've got if you've got SPD, you've got Lost Galaxy, you've got In Space.
Yeah, I've got MMP, Mighty Morphin, In Space, Lost Galaxy, SPD, Dino Thunder, and then the Psycho Rangers. And I do have Dino Charge and the Beast Morphers, but I won't finish those, I don't think. I only got those at the time because I was like, oh yeah, support Lightning Collection.
Big Will, you're forgiven, by the way. He says we sound like disappointed parents. We forgive you. He says, sorry, Dad. It's all right, son. It's all right. Right, let's get into these. Okay, so thanks to producer Rich, aka Displayed Once. He has put together these slides for me because I'm not moaning about work on the live stream. It's all about positivity here. But yeah, busy. I'm a busy guy. But Rich is still a busy guy, but he still finds the time to do this, and I love him for it. So let's talk
absolutely.
about.
Did an amazing job with these.
So Power Rangers Mighty Morphin. Let's stay within this genre so far. So we're getting Adam Izio, but we haven't had him as the Black Ranger yet. But that's fine because once you've got the Zeo head, the unmasked head, you can put it on a Black Ranger head anyway. Same with Rocky, we've got him as Zeo. So if you wanted a Red Ranger Rocky, you could use that interchangeable head. Not a problem. We haven't got Aisha yet, right? We haven't got her in any form.
No.
So
and she was also Yellow's. No, not Yellow Zeo.
In Turbo.
Was it Turbo? I think she was in Turbo as well. You're right. Let me double check. She was in. No, she was only the Yellow Ranger in Mighty Morphin.
Okay.
She wasn't in Zeo or Turbo.
Okay. So it'd be curious how they get an Aisha head out in the future if big.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Where's my mouse gone? There it is. All right, next up. Okay, so I think Andy Davis mentioned this in the chat earlier, that his favourite idea of the Power Rangers is the ninja. And basically, after the film was very ninja orientated, if you will. So after the film, the continuity went a little bit weird. It's like the TV show didn't mention the film, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Like the film, the TV continued with ideas from the film, but they'd never talk about the film, if that makes sense. It's weird.
No, yeah.
It's weird how they did it. But the Power Rangers had this sort of weird time where before they'd actually used the power coins and turn into Power Rangers, they had like this ninja power. So if they're fighting the putties, they're turned into these ninjas before they actually turn into the actual Rangers. But these for me these are like, again, all about the movie for me. So if these came out, I would 100% buy them. So yeah, Ninja 2, I think these would be very popular. Did you have any sort of fixation towards these? I bet you're a fan of Adam, right?
Yeah, big fan of anything frogs to me. I'm
watching your face, just waiting, just take a second to go, what's he on about? Oh yeah, frogs, you knob. Yeah,
well, no, so as I was looking at it, I was actually saying to myself, would I get the whole team if they did these? I was thinking, and then I thought I'd definitely get Tommy and just because it's a pairing that you'd have to have. And then I was like, well, if you're going to get Tommy and Kimberly, considering they're like, considering they're like their classic, Rangers, I thought then you have to get Billy. And then I said to myself, well, if you're going to get 3 out of the 6, you may as well get the whole freaking 6. So I don't think I would ever get metallic Rangers if they went down that route.
Well, they already are.
For Mighty Morphin.
They already are. Pink Ranger.
They already are, yeah, with the pink. So I don't think I will ever go for the metallic Rangers, but I think I will go for these because it's a different outfit. It's a different look. It's very unique. And like you say, it's very nostalgic of the film.
Cat Liv says I think the film isn't canon to the show. Interesting. See, no. I knew it weren't connected, but I didn't realise they'd literally drew a line through it and said, nope, nothing to do with it. I just thought the TV show ignored it. It's weird, though, because the TV show, like, the Tanga Warriors are in the show, in the film, sorry, and then they come into the show. The Ninja coins and stuff, the Ninja Power Rangers are in the film, and then they're in the show. And it's, like, weird how they just ignore the film. Weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I think these would be very popular.
I think they would make cool action figures as well. Sure.
Andy Davis says we'd need a mask up and a mask down swappable head. You are 100% correct.
Yeah, I mean that's probably been one of the best things about Lightning Collection. The accessories, you don't get the Build-A-Figure piece and that kind of thing. But like when you look at Black Series is like very unique sculpt, not a lot of accessories, but you get a high quality product in terms of it's mostly, nowadays at least, pinless or, butterfly joints or ball joint neck, whatever it might be. But then with Lightning Collection, you get the same body over and over, but you get all of the accessories you could ever want for that Ranger.
Wow.
Like every single time.
They seem to be missing a few important weapons here and there.
Well, here and there, but they've definitely gotten better at it as they've gone on.
Yeah.
I think when you find Legends, you get the best of both of those worlds. So
with a Ranger, you're going to get a weapon at least, and like some sort of effect piece maybe,
and an unmasked head.
Yes, which I love. I love that they do that.
Me too.
Before I had the whole. I eventually sold them, as you know, but I had the Bandai. Is it Legacy Collection? Had all of the Mighty Morphin in that. Again, they didn't have the interchangeable heads, and with the Lightning Collection fits and scale better with my personal collection of everything else. Unmasked heads. Like I've brought multiple sets of these Lightning Collections so I can display them with the unmasked heads. Because I thought to myself, what's the point of just having these unmasked heads just set in a box, never to be seen? Let's get an extra figure, display them with the heads, holding the helmet, that iconic look. But talking about iconic looks, the movie designs, it's like the original designs just got like the budget upgrade obviously went up. They were doing a movie, and for no explanation at all, at the start of the film, running around some construction site, they suddenly had all these glittery, like, they were using powers in their helmets that you had never seen in the show before. Like, they had someone's helmet turned into lights. Was it Billy's helmet or...
Really?
Aisha's helmet?
I can't remember this movie as well, I don't
like
think.
The helmet turned into light. They were in a dark sort of thing, and they went, oh no, it's so dark. And then someone went, don't worry, I got you. And like big lights came on out of their helmet, out of the eyes.
Who was the bad guy in this film?
Ivan Ooze.
I thought Ivan Ooze was the bad guy who's the major bad guy with the Tenga Warriors?
Ivan Ooze.
So Ivan Ooze was bad guy back to back.
He was over in this film. He was only Ivan Ooze only ever in the film. Only ever in this film.
Oh, so who? So who was the bad guy in the first film?
This is the first film.
Oh!
What film are you on about?
No, I don't know why, but I started thinking that there was 2 films. I'm tired.
There are. The second film's in Turbo.
Yeah, I remember right, okay. So I was thinking then that there was I thought you were saying there was 2 Mighty Morphin films, but this makes sense.
No. The film, like Capliff said, had no continuity in regards to the TV show. So the TV show was just think, when this film came out, the TV show was at the height of popularity, obviously. So the film came out with the same actors from the TV show, which was perfect. It was great. It means kids that love that TV show could go to the film and be familiar with what they're watching. But the TV show, after the film, had elements of the film. Like the Tangle Warriors were in the film, debuted in the film, and then they were in the TV show. But Ivan Ooze, who created them, doesn't exist in the continuity of the. It's so weird.
It's similar to what they used to do with Dragon Ball and with Pokemon. That the films wouldn't always be canon to the weird to the show.
I just think it's confusing for like. Shows like this are hard enough to try and get new people on board after the first initial wave of popularity anyway. So when they do stuff like that, it just confuses people. Like I was watching I watched the film recently. This is completely off tangent, by the way. I just put an example of this type of thing. There was a film with Chris Evans. Don't know if you've ever seen it. It came out around the time he was Captain America for the first time, called The Snowpiercer. And he was on a train.
Film.
So there's recently been a Netflix show. I've not seen it yet, but I know there's a Netflix series called The Snowpiercer. So my friend said, "Oh, you should watch the Snowpiercer TV show." And I went, "Oh, is it like the film?" And they went, "Oh, we've never seen the film." And I was like, "Well, are you not interested in watching it?" And they were like, "Oh, no, not really." And I'm thinking, if I know a film exists that's got the same concept of the show, I want to know what they're grabbing this. Anyway, weird, same type of thing where the TV show and film, same story, same concept, but are not connected in any way. But I want these Power Rangers, like they did the glossy or the metallic version of Kimberly, or Cat, sorry, the Pink Ranger. That's not the movie version. That is not a movie version. I think they would brand it. Or do Hasbro have the branding of Power Rangers, or is it a Saban film?
Tac.
Super chat.
99 through super chat.
Thank you, Mark.
We need some Ghostbuster Power Rangers. Brandon knows what I'm saying.
Do you know what? I know Mark's joking, right? Thank you very much, Mark, for Tac for the Tac Customs for the super chat. And I think he's joking, right? But I would 100% buy these, Mark. This is like the type of nonsense I love. We need some Ghostbuster Power Rangers. Brandon knows what I'm saying. ... Like, I know Mark's joking because Brandon's a massive fan of Ghostbusters, but I would actually buy these. I'm not even joking.
Really?
Yes. Like, why not? It's Ghostbusters and Power Rangers. I like Ghostbusters. I like Power Rangers. Fight. That's a UK reference. Right. Anyway, what are we talking about? Movie figures.
Anyway. Yes, yeah. So these would be cool, but yeah, as you say, I'm not sure that I would pick up the sort of the metallic looks.
Okay, personally. Moving on to getting confusing times. All right, these are confusing. I'm definitely going to have to get Rich's notes out for these because I remember these. These didn't have their own show. These were like Power Rangers within Zeo. I believe it was Zeo, and like Billy ends up becoming friends, or even he has an alien girlfriend. I can't remember. Billy retires being a ranger anyway, and instead helps Alpha. So Billy the actor stays around for a little bit and helps Alpha, and he befriends these alien people who are also rangers, something like that. And I think Rich has even photoshopped one of their faces there on here. At first, I thought it was an actual image, but no, he's photoshopped her face. There you go. Just to remind you who these aliens are. These are the alien rangers. Now, again, let me read Rich's notes. Right. What we got here. All right, what slide are we on?
So, I've got it if you want me to.
Oh, yeah.
So, the Alien Rangers haven't had any releases yet in the Lightning Collection, but they were the first team with a female leader, and they all had big purple heads under their helmets.
Yeah. Their heads are bigger than their helmets. It makes no sense. These Power Ranger costumes are magic. Magic! They're meant to be supernatural, but I guess supernatural is magic.
Yeah. So personally, I wouldn't. Personally, I wouldn't get.
Brandon's gone. We'll give him a sec. Let me switch to the picture. See if he comes back. Hopefully, I'm still here. And it's if I'm still here, people, let me know, because this is the time where I panic. Okay, he's back again. I was having a panic then the stream was going to blow up. You're there, Brandon. You're there. You're alive.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oof, had a little heart attack there, Brandon. I was like, no, the stream.
I tried to close my emails, but I wasn't paying attention to the cross, so I accidentally hit the cross on our tab as opposed to my email. Anyway,
heart attack.
What I was going to say was that I don't know. I would get these just based on the fact that they didn't have their own season. The designs are cool, but they're not amazing. But the one that I would get is Orico. So if anybody's stuck around to watch Power Rangers Wild Force, there is an episode called Forever Red, where 10 Red Rangers all unite to fight the Turbo bad guys. The something Empire. Why isn't it coming to my head? I can't remember. The something Empire. Someone in the chat help me out. It's the something Empire. The bad guys from Turbo. Metal Empire. No. Something like that. Someone help. I'm trying to think. That's going to bother me now if I don't get it.
I'm not scrambling through Rich's notes. I'm like, Rich has got to have written it down somewhere for me.
Oh, Machine Empire.
There you go. Machine Empire.
Yeah. So Orico joins Andros, the in-space Red Ranger, and then joins 8 other Rangers to basically fight the Machine Empire on the moon. And it is just the most epic episode of Power Rangers, or one of the most epic episodes of Power Rangers there ever was. It's amazing.
So are you going for every Red Ranger then? Do you know the same way earlier I said I might go for all black, even though that makes no sense? Your version makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm only going between Mighty Morphin and SPD, with the exception of things like the Boom comics where it's unique, it's special, it's cool. Like I got Draken, I got Ranger Slayer. So I did get Beast Morphers and Dino Charge just because I was like trying to just support Lightning Collection in the meantime. But I think now that we're starting to really build out those teams that I actually care about, I'm only gonna pick and choose and get the teams I care about. But in special instances like this, where there's a crossover episode and they play a cool part, I'll pick it up, I think.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like as I said, if you're a fan of Forever Red, collect every Red Ranger and have them displayed together. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm sure Cap Lives has done some sort of image with all the Red Rangers or that have come out so far or something. I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure he has, actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. The fight on the moon, he says. Right, skipping on. Okay, so now we're getting into territory that I know. So
yes.
Tanya and Kat, these are two. So basically what Rich has done in these slides, we're showing you the Rangers that are yet to come out in these teams. So when it comes to Zeo, we've already showed you. I've actually got these figures on the floor, so bear with me. I'll get them up. So my favourite, everyone knows this, Big Will turned me into one of these. But my favourite Power Ranger design, costume, full stop, is Zeo Gold. Zeo Gold and Black, love it. Always been my favourite. So we've got Zeo Gold. We've got Rocky, Zeo Blue. And then we've got Jason, even though it looks nothing like Jason, as Zeo Red. So we have Gold.
No, Tommy.
So it looks nothing like. That's why, because it looks nothing like Tommy either.
Yeah, true.
It looks more like the guy from In Space.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? It looks like the guy from In Space.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Okay, so they're the 3 we've got. We know we're getting Adam in Zeo Green. He's in wave. What wave is he in, Brandon? 6, 7, 8? 8?
Zeo Green is in 8. Yes, correct.
Okay, so we know. Wave. Yeah, so we know he's coming soon. We should have him sooner rather than later. So I have all the boys, but now we need Kat and Tanya. So
yeah.
So looking forward to
that. These are must gets for me personally, just because we then round out that team. I won't get that metallic Pink Ranger Cat, so I'd be happy for us to get her face sculpt for the Zeo pink. I'm hoping we get you know, a more serious looking head sculpt than the one that they did. I thought the smile was a bit creepy. Like it was on Kimberly, it was a bit creepy. I think the only smiling head sculpt that they've done that has really worked was Jason's one from the SDCC pack.
Yeah.
But I think I was happy with that because you got both the serious sculpt and the smiling sculpt. But the other smiling sculpts that haven't really, they've been more creepy than cool so far, I think.
I don't need my Rangers smiling on the shelf. If they're in their uniforms with the helmets off, they're ready for battle. They're all posed and ready to go.
And the reason why I really liked that one that we got with Jason for Zeo was because in the 2-pack was because when it's revealed that Jason's the Zeo Ranger, he has that same smile on his face as he like walks down the walkway bit.
Yeah.
So it really fit for that 2-pack. But I think generally with releases for the Rangers, it would be better not to have those kinds of different expressions, unless it's a character like Tommy where you're getting 10 different Tommy heads. Then it would be cool to have different expressions, you know?
Yeah, no, as I said, I love like mixing up the display every now and then. I love options. That's what makes everyone's displays and collections different. Is people prefer this or that, you know? So yeah, I love options.
Yeah.
So yeah, Zeo, obviously for me, Zeo green, pink, and yellow are all muskets. Shout out to Kevin toying around in the chat.
Yeah,
he says, Dan, open them. That ish. Kevin, I'm an idiot. These are my extras. These are just the ones I keep in box. Don't worry about that. The Z are on display. I'm just an idiot.
to catch a legend says they're just so happy to beat up some putties.
Yeah.
That was really funny.
Okay, moving on.
Moving on.
Turbo. Okay, so you mentioned earlier
yes.
Power Ranger movies. So do you remember this movie more than the other one?
No. If I'm honest, I remember the Ninja Ivan Ooze movie more than this one. That Ninja Ivan Ooze movie I had on, I still have, on VHS.
Oh, pretty good.
I love that movie.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I love that movie.
I definitely had it on VHS. Don't have it now. My mum just threw away everything we had as kids. She did not care. She was like, "This is taking up room in my house, in the bin."
Yeah.
Toys that were worth thousands of pounds now, just in a skip.
Yeah. So for the first 3-4 weeks of January of the year rather, we in January we cleared out our entire loft, right? And every time we would find something cool, you know, like an old toy or something like that, my mum would be like, "You know what my biggest regret is?" I would say, "What?" She was like, "My biggest regret of your childhood was throwing away all those Pokemon cards."
Oh yeah, you could be a millionaire right now. You could literally be a millionaire.
I used to have all of them. And I used to have like the binder books with the sleeves and stuff. Crazy. Anyway, my biggest thing with this for Turbo is I want Red Ranger TJ. I do not want Red Ranger Tommy. I want Red Ranger TJ. I want it now. I do not want Red Ranger Tommy. I've had enough Tommies. And, you know, I do not need another pale-looking Tommy on my shelf. Give me TJ now.
Right, so Turbo is the one of the earlier seasons, like one of the sort of earlier Power Ranger incarnations that have not had one single Lightning Collection figure yet. There's not one, is there? So
nothing from Turbo. No.
Clearly, the people that are behind the Lightning Collection are not either not fans of Turbo or just think there's no demand for it.
So Turbo was definitely one of the lower seasons on the popularity.
It was
ladder.
One of the quick turnarounds as well. It was a very short lasted season as well.
Yeah, and the reason why In Space is also so popular is because it was a lot better than Turbo, and a lot of people
killed off Turbo. Everyone's like, "Hooray, Turbo's ended!" Yeah,
well, a lot of people also saw In Space as being like they saw it as the season that really saved Power Rangers, because Turbo, I think it was trying to capitalize on that whole Transformers kind of hype as well at the time, and cars and mechanics.
That kid is too young to drive. There's no way he'd get a driving license. Ridiculous.
Exactly. So Turbo was kind of like a low point for the season. So you know, I think it's it's definitely not one that they will rush to. That's why I think we will probably get a Tommy Red Ranger release before we get a TJ Red Ranger release. But it would just be, I wouldn't buy it personally if they did a Tommy Red Ranger. I would. It just, no one needs another Tommy.
I'm not going to lie to you. I think I would be tempted to go for Turbo just because I remember it so well. The film, like I never seen the second film in the cinema. I remember having it on a videotape, and I knew it weren't as good as the first one, but I still remember it. Because I had it on videotape, I watched it loads as a kid. In my head, the only way I could explain the film to anyone who hasn't seen it is like a crossover of Power Rangers and Willow, because they're like rescuing some little alien, some sort of midget alien and his family or something. And then, because the more money's involved, Kimberly and Jason are just out scuba diving, as you are. They're just out scuba diving together as friends, and they get kidnapped. What a surprise. Like, those little cameos are involved. And then that kid, like, he's like, not a lot of people like him. Like, and Jamie in the chat says that he would like to know how they would do Justin. I reckon they'd give us a full-size Blue Ranger and just a Justin unmasked head. It's simple as that. How else could they do it?
I don't even know if we would get the unmasked head. I think they would do. I don't think they would.
They're just going to save him till last. We're not going to get. If they do Turbo, we're not going to. Bless you again. Everyone bless Brandon in the chat there. Bless you. If they do in Turbo, Blue's going to be last. It's going to be 2025. You're going to finish your Turbo team, because they're going to wait to finish Blue, because, who knows?
Yeah, and I think so. I think personally as well, I wouldn't get Carlos or Adam or Kat or Ashley or Tanya, because we have them in or Cassie for that matter either. I don't think I would get any of the other Rangers, purely because we have Adam, Kat, and Tanya in Zeo, and we will have Carlos, Cassie, and Ashley in space. Right, so therefore there isn't a need for the other Rangers in between from Turbo. I do want them to release a Red Ranger TJ though, because of Forever Red as well, because he shows up in there as the Turbo Red Ranger.
Well, Nightwing X in the chat says it will be Tommy the Red Turbo, because you'll get TJ as Blue Space Ranger.
No, TJ isn't. Oh, yeah, sorry, I thought you said Justin. Yeah, TJ. Well, yeah, but
they're loving extra reason to put Tommy out again. Tommy's their favorite.
Yeah, I know, and he's right. He's right. That's exactly what they would do, and they would put out Tommy. Well, my other thinking is they would put out TJ first, because they know you'll buy Tommy regardless. So my thinking is they might get you to buy TJ first, and then come back and get Tommy later.
Okay, in a 2-pack
in the Red Turbo. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then again, when you think about the gold Zeo Ranger, they did Jason first before they did the.
That was in a 2-pack. That was in a San Diego Comic Con.
That's the thing. So it was an exclusive. So it was in a wide release. So it makes sense. But I mean, yeah. The only thing Turbo that I will buy is TJ. The only reason I would get Tommy is exactly for what you say. Is if I want to switch out the TJ head onto that body instead. But.
When it comes to Turbo, I'd only be buying one set anyway. Like the Rangers, the Mighty Morphin Rangers, I brought multiple sets of, because it's embedded in my brain. I know those actors, a big deal. These now, it's where it starts to get fuzzy for me. So like, I remember in Turbo, but I'd like to have maybe just, as I said, because once you got the full set on the shelf, on display, it would look pretty cool. And it's just something I remember from my childhood. So for me, it doesn't really make a difference which heads came with these guys. I just probably would get them. But it is curious, out of all these incarnation of Power Rangers, we've not had one in Turbo yet. Not one. Interesting.
As Capliv says, in space ended up saving Power Rangers from cancellation, and there was a reason why they were headed toward cancellation, which is sadly because of this.
Shame.
Season.
Some great villains in Turbo as well, by the way, but not good guys apparently. Okay, moving on to In Space. You were talking about that, and we've just mentioned TJ as. Brandon would like TJ as the Red Turbo, but wouldn't you prefer him as... Oh, no. So you said he turns up in Forever Red as Red Turbo.
Red.
So you'd prefer to get TJ as Turbo Red than In Space Blue? If you could only have one.
If I could only have one, it would have to be In Space Blue, because that way you finish the team.
Is he the only person that was ever blue in space? No one else took over it?
No one ever.
Okay, so it has to be. He has to be in Space Blue then,
Yeah. So I would rather that, and then because as I say, the only Ranger from Turbo I'll get is Red Ranger TJ. So I would rather do it that way. Yeah, for sure.
So we're missing. Go on.
But that's why, especially because Cassie, Carlos, and Ashley are in Space Rangers. There is no need to
give us Turbo. Yeah, maybe Turbo will be a San Diego exclusive. Maybe it'll be a 5-pack. Maybe they'll find a sneaky way just to put it out there rather than it being in the main line.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll get to it eventually because they are going to run out eventually. So I think they will at some point drop into it. Have to. Again, In Space gets fuzzy for me. Like, I remember the toys, remember it, but I never really watch it. I couldn't tell you a single actor or character name. So Cassie is the Pink Ranger. So let me just jump back to the last slide. So she started off in Turbo as well, and then she went to space with them as well. So
just quickly, sorry, Cat Lives is so on the money here. He says put Turbo Tommy in a Master Morpher exclusive box set. So what that basically is that eventually Tommy gets a Master Morpher, which means that he can morph into any of the Power Rangers he's ever been.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Right?
How's that? Is that in the show?
That's not until the more recent seasons in the last few years, I think.
I like
3,
that.
4,
That's pretty
5 years.
good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and in the same way that they did with Dino Thunder Mighty Morphin Green Ranger, I would rather them do that for Tommy.
Was that just a gimmick, by the way? Like, or was it just one episode, or was he in it as Green Ranger for longer, or was it just one episode he turned up as the Green Ranger?
It was one episode in Dino Thunder where he basically has to fight like his previous Ranger selves, and then
okay, interesting. Okay, so Zane, he wasn't. Is it Zane? Is that his name?
Zane.
Yeah. So
Zane,
was he part? Was he like an extra Ranger that come on down the line, or was he always there? How did he work?
He's a 6th Ranger, so he gets brought in.
And is he silver or white? Silver, did you say?
He's silver. He's silver, and he was announced for the Legacy line, but he was never actually released.
Okay.
For the Bandai Legacy line. So and this, I mean, In Space is just one of the most popular seasons for sure. And we're almost there. So I would love to just round this team out. If there was any team that we could complete, other than SBD, my next one would be In Space.
Well, we know it's coming. So we know in Wave 9 we're getting the Black Ranger. Brandon already said that it's probably one of the best unmasked heads. We have recently got the Yellow Ranger, which could have been one of the worst unmasked heads. To be fair, it's better in person than the promo pictures did it justice for. But we have got In Space Yellow. And she does come with a slingshot as well, which is a nice touch. And then In Space Red comes in this sort of 2-pack with his sister, who's evil. So far, that's all we've got, right? That's all we've got. And then In Space Black is on the way. So no announcement yet of blue or pink or silver, but they're inevitable. And as Brandon just said, it's one of his. If it's one of your most anticipated, then I'm sure there's a lot of people on the same page of you. A lot of people did mention earlier that In Space was their favorite. So I'm sure they'll get to it sooner rather than later. There's got to be a few more waves announced this year at least. So we shall see. But yeah, I think TJ is going to be a popular figure when he comes out for sure. What was Cassie like? Was she any good? Was she better than Kimberly?
It's tough to beat the OG Pink. But I did like Cassie. I like Cassie a lot, so I would get Cassie for sure.
Shout out Dante. He's just jumped in the chat. As always,
welcome Dante.
As always, go and follow the Infinity Equation podcast. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, go and subscribe. The Infinity Equation podcast every Friday here on YouTube. Right, next up, Lost Galaxy. Okay, so this one is where I literally get lost because no idea. No idea.
So In Space is basically just to round that off. So In Space ends the Zordon era of Power Rangers, right? So there's a big fight at the
What
end
happens to Zordon? Spoil it for me. Spoiler alert. What
you really want me to? I wasn't going to spoil it. You want me to spoil it?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not going to watch all of them, am I?
Spoiler alert for everybody in the chat. So In Space basically ends with there's a big fight for the In Space Rangers, and Andros has to destroy Zordon for everything to basically be okay. And Zordon says, don't worry about it. You got to do what you got to do. Just do it, kind of thing. I can't remember the exact phrasing, but it basically goes down.
Zordon
like that,
goes,
and then Andros,
you got to do what you got to do. Just do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think sounds exactly like Zordon. I think that's 100% what he said.
Yeah.
Rangers, you gotta do what you gotta do. I can't do a Zordon impression. Carry on, sorry.
So it's emotional, it's climactic, it is a big change for what happens with Power Rangers, ends the Zordon era, and goes out like that. I think they were capitalizing off the back of that same, space kind of theme with Lost Galaxy. But I mean, Lost Galaxy was one of my favorites growing up. Leo, the Red Ranger, was one of my favorite Rangers growing up. It's and Lost Galaxy is basically set again in space. They I think they go from planet to planet, if I remember correctly. Like I'm the same as you with this in that like I haven't. There are some seasons of Power Rangers that I know the storyline off by heart. But then there are others that I love them because of that nostalgic factor of me growing up. I can't remember the details. I'm still hazy on some of the details. Lost Galaxy comes under that hazy details thing. But we've had Red Ranger Leo, we've had Magna Defender, which is a Black Ranger.
So how can you get these figures? So is Red Ranger only in a 2-pack?
Red Ranger was only in a 2-pack. He's coming out in Wave 7, I believe. No, sorry, Wave 8 as a solo release.
Oh, okay. So you can get him single. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Magna Defender has been released as a solo release. I think in Wave 4. I want to say same wave as Kimberly. Yeah.
I have no idea.
Really good looking.
I have no idea who he is, but he looked cool, so I brought him. And in Parallel Universe had like a custom cape on this guy, and it just made him look really cool. So yeah, I did end up buying this guy. I'm laughing at everyone's impressions of Zordon as well. Marcus Shee says, Zordon says, it's good, man, let's get it. Toying around says, Zordon says, smash my tube. That's what he says to Mrs. That's what he says to Mrs. Zordon.
Yeah, and the reason I like Lost Galaxy so much was because it was exactly like Cat Lives has just said. It was definitely darker in tone, which brings us to why we've got Kendricks and Corone. So Kendricks is in that sort of pinkish,
Rich had to school me on this.
Jedi.
Rich had to school me on this, yeah.
Kendricks is the only Power Ranger to ever die, at least on screen. So Kendricks
is the actress
dies,
okay though, right?
The
actress is okay. She just died in story.
Yeah, I think the reason why she was killed off was because of off-screen illness. I want to say it was leukemia, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Deep.
Yeah, I can't remember how that story ended, but I know that was the main reason. I don't think that it was not appropriate, but I don't think she was able to keep up with the schedule and all of that kind of stuff. I don't think at the time. So I think that was why they agreed or arranged for her to be killed off.
So when Rich sent me these, by the way, you were in the chat, and I said, why is she glowing pink? Like I didn't get it, and then Rich had to explain to me that he's paying homage because she's the only Ranger that died, so she gets a little Force Ghost glow here on the picture. So yeah,
same as Obi-Wan.
R.I.P. So she got recast very quick. Someone took the. So she can't. This other
had to take on the role, yeah.
So she must be an alien, right? Because if they didn't go to Earth, where did this other Ranger come from?
So the way that it is that like the way it kind of starts out is that there are different planets, and they're on board a spaceship, and Cap Lives help me out with the detail on this bit, but they're on a spaceship, and it's basic, and like they go to different worlds, I think. So like there are humans that aren't necessarily from Earth, and it's something like that, I think. So, but one of the main reasons that made this so dark is exactly what Caplev said, which is the Magna Defender is basically always looking for vengeance because of his dead son. He also gives his powers to Leo's brother, who dies early on in the season. Who dies.
Is he a full Ranger then? Like, is he in every episode? Is he someone they call upon? Someone who cameos? Like, how does he play a role?
Yeah, he's a sixth Ranger again. So the sixth Rangers always aren't like, they're not part of the team, but they're kind of attached to the team. That is. Yeah. So he comes through like that, but he basically he takes on Leo's brother, who people thought had died, basically becomes the Magna Defender. And then
Rob Pollock is like so many spoilers happening. Sorry, people. I should have made a spoiler alert graphic or something. I'm basically being schooled on anything that happened after Zeo because I don't know. So Rich just said plot twist. That green is that Pink Ranger astronomer. What's he on about? I'm getting so confused now.
Yeah. So
what's her name?
Yeah. So astronomer who is Andros's her sister. She becomes human kind of thing, and she becomes the Pink Ranger.
What?
Galaxy Ranger.
That's crazy. Okay, now I'm intrigued.
And then
so that girl that I'm zoomed in on now, that's astronomer. Same actress, everything.
I'm not sure if it's the same actress actually.
So in story it's the same character, but it may be a different actress.
Yeah.
But interesting. Okay, and
I'm not sure if it's the same actress or not.
Damien at the back can hardly see that guy.
Yeah, but basically for astronomer once astronomer is like the bad alter ego of her basically. But yeah, Damon would be great as well to have in. I mean, I just would like this whole team. I love the design of the characters. It would just be great. I mean, I love this season, and I love Leo as a Red Ranger because I love this season. Like any season that I absolutely adored, the Red Ranger was always my favorite Ranger.
So if I was going to watch a couple of episodes, like I could just start at episode 1 and watch a couple and get a vibe of it. Like, would it give me, or do you have to, or is it like a slow burn? I have to get into it a little bit, or could I watch a couple and get what the vibe is?
Yeah, I would say so. One of the best things about the Power Ranger seasons as they go on is that they really pick up and run with it. You know, there's not like, it doesn't take forever and a day to kind of get to grips with what's going on. I think there will be storylines and mysteries that unfold, but the main gist of it, you get to grips quite quickly with what's happening, where they're at, what this theme is for this season, that kind of thing.
Everyone's saying the same actress as well. That must have been fun. Yeah, that must have been fun for the actress as well to play a bad guy for so long and then get to be a good guy after.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Absolutely.
Okay, so they're all the figures we need to complete the team. So if they were going to do a Pink Ranger, they'd have to do the first one, right? Pay homage, maybe.
I would have thought so. It'd be interesting to see, but I would have thought so. They might do Kendricks in a versus 2-pack, and then do Corona as a solo release.
Yeah, he said Capliv says Lost Galaxy is amazing. That team went through a lot of struggle and tragedy. So it definitely seems like that these shows get a little bit more, like you said, a little deeper, because the cartoons that I was watching as a kid, it was like, well, not cartoons, sorry, the Power Mighty Morphin I was watching as a kid, it like resets at the start of every episode. Like start of episodes, a new monster, they defeat the monster, and then it sort of resets. So it seems like more ongoing stories are happening within these shows.
Yeah, I think as they went on, they really started to build on storylines, within the seasons, as opposed to just across multiple seasons, which really, I think is which I think is a real testament to how great Power Rangers is, in that that was how it was able to capture different generations, because even people that are a year or 2 years apart that would love different seasons, simply because you get attached to those characters, their stories, what happens with them, and that kind of thing. So so I think especially when they add, like Capliv says, when they add things like that tragedy or the drama or struggle, it gives a greater weight to the show, and I think it makes it as a audience member, you become more invested in it.
I bet as like adults, parents watching Power Rangers with their kids as well, it would have been good to get a little bit more engaged in the material. So that's good. That's good to know.
Rob Pollock is right though. It does get to a point where it ends up like Saban get it back, and it kind of just becomes a bit.
So when did Disney buy it? What stage did Disney start taking over?
So Disney got it. I think Disney took over for Wild Force, which is a few ahead.
That's
Someone
crazy.
correct me if I'm wrong.
It's crazy that Disney has Power Rangers. They had it and they just didn't do nothing with it. It's weird. The amount what Disney do to franchises is crazy. But they had Power Rangers and didn't know what to do with it.
No. Disney did a good job with Power Rangers.
Okay, interesting. Let me skip along. Let me see what's next.
So basically, let me see. Yeah, so the Saban era was from Mighty Morphin up until Wild Force, and Time Force, and then the Disney era was from.
So Rich M is saying Wild Force to RPM.
Let me see.
But I don't know what that is. So many Ranger names. Brandon is correct again. Capliv saying you are correct again.
Yeah. Let me see.
It's mad at all the incarnations these have. Like it's like they never last too long either. Like it changes at a good time. Do you know, nothing gets stale.
Yeah.
Maybe
it's
I've never
like
seen
Pokemon.
these shows, but I assume that the changes keep it fresh and it doesn't things don't linger. And it's always a nice starting point to get new people on board as well. All right, let me go back. Let me carry on. Let me keep going through these Ranger teams here.
Yeah.
So after Lost Galaxy, we go into. So what's this? Lightning Rescue.
Yeah. No, Lightspeed Rescue.
Okay.
Man.
Okay.
Rescue.
Again, no idea.
Fun fact. Ryan, who is the Silver Ranger there on the side.
Yeah.
He is an American exclusive Ranger. He did not have a Japanese counterpart.
Oh, okay. So they made him just for the US show.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is obviously, we haven't had any of these in Lightning Collection yet. Ryan is a Titanium Ranger. So he is the son of the Have you ever seen anything to do with Lightspeed Rescue?
Nothing.
Okay, so Lightspeed Rescue is basically so Carter is a firefighter. Joel is I want to say a firefighter too. I think one of them's a medic. Chad is I think Kelsey, the Yellow Ranger, is a medic. I think Chad is a diver or something like that. I think Dana is a medic as well. But Lightspeed Rescue was basically it's like a police force, to put it really simply on a basic level. Different aspects of the emergency services. So ambulances, medics, firefighters, police officers, that kind of thing. I really enjoyed this season personally. They fight against demons. So Ryan, who is the Titanium Ranger, he is the son of the chief of Lightspeed Rescue. So like the Zordon of Lightspeed Rescue, if you like.
Yeah.
Does
he live in a tube?
No.
Okay.
He's like a old guy with like a military uniform, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And Ryan Ryan gets like a curse basically by this demon. He gets like this, I think it's a snake tattoo on his back. And that like starts his journey to become the Titanium Ranger. Somebody in the chat correct me if I've missed anything out.
You mentioned that. I thought, okay, I didn't realise that, but you're right. None of these, that's why they're all here, that's why the picture's here. None of these have had Lightning Collection figures either.
No, I think this is one of the seasons that's like, it isn't like top tier, like top 3 favorite seasons. Like I think top 3 favorite seasons that you hear from most people will be things like Mighty Morphin, SPD, In Space. I think those are like your really high-end kind of Rangers. This Lightspeed Rescue is kind of like the mid-tier, you know, where it's like it was really good. Carter in particular is a great Red Ranger, same as Cat Blizzard just said. But the whole team isn't like a must get, you know.
Z-Man says I was born in the year of this Power Rangers. Stop making me feel old, people. All right, stop making me feel old.
Fun fact: they have multiple Megazords, but I still have one of their Megazords, both of their Megazords actually, up in the loft. Bubble wrap.
I recognise this logo like a lot more than I should, which makes me think my brothers had toys of this. That's all.
Oh, I tell you what, go full screen for a second. I'll be right back. I've got something.
Okay, let me switch to this. Let me just see what the chat are saying real quick. Okay, so what were you saying? I seen something I wanted to read out a minute ago. By the way, I appreciate everyone's input today because you can tell I like this stuff, but my knowledge isn't there. But it doesn't mean I don't care. I'm intrigued. I do like revisiting stuff. Andy Davis says there's some awesome bad guys from this season. I do like some bad guys. Rich M also says brilliant season. Capless says another strong season. Yeah, I do want to revisit these just so I know, so I'm in the loop. But there's just so much, like so many hours. So I assume Brandon's gone off to get some sort of childhood Megazord from Lightning Collection. What year did this come out? Does anyone in the chat got the Google machine next to them? What year is Lightning Collection? Because that logo, I can picture it in my head on toys, on packaging or something. So I think this must have been like, I don't know, 2000s of some degree maybe, or
it's
maybe
2000, Dan.
Yeah, see, that was a good shout because my brothers had toys of this. They must have had. So I'm assuming you've run off to get a toy of some sort of Megazord,
Yeah,
Brandon,
okay,
right?
I'm back.
Okay.
No. Even better.
Okay. Let me go. Let me full screen you. Let me full screen you. One sec.
So this is my original from 2000, right? It still has the Okay, ready?
Go on. Oh wow. Okay, maybe this is what my brothers had.
Wait, where's
a little morpher?
Oh, I need to change the batteries.
No.
It used to make. Oh yeah, no, look, there you go.
Wait, be careful! It's gonna morph.
How cool is that? And it's the Red Ranger.
I just did a little transition. Imagine if that transition changed and you came back as the Ranger. That would have freaked people out.
That would have been so good. But I mean, this is my original. Yeah, it still makes sound.
So it doesn't say they stopped going the did. That's what I remember.
Yeah. Yes, they stopped that.
Ah, boo. Zordon. It died. That died with Zordon, I guess. Marcus Yee, seems to be very impressed with that.
Yeah, that's my original as well. It's still got the like my name on the back of it from when I used to take it to school and get in trouble. I got some more cool surprises like that as we go along.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so Lightspeed Rescue, none of these figures have been made, but this is a team that you would want to. Have been made in Lightning Collection, but this is a team that you would like to have on your shelf.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would get the whole team. It's not a top priority for me, but I would get the whole team for sure.
Beautiful. Okay, so again, I can't really add much more than that because I do like the design though. I know it's so simple, but just the sort of the white in the middle, the sort of what is that, a windmill sort of design, if you will. Yeah, looks cool. Would look good as an action figure for sure. All right, moving on to another thing I know nothing about.
Hell yeah!
Time
Force. This is the one. This is the one.
Okay, speak to me.
Best Power Rangers season ever. My personal favorite Power Rangers season.
Oh wow!
Ever.
That's high praise.
Oh yeah, man.
High praise.
Honestly, this is my favorite season. So basically, Power Rangers Time Force. All of the Rangers, so the yellow, green, pink, and blue Ranger are all from the year 3000, right? I think it's the year 3000, something like that. They are they're Power Rangers. They do what Power Rangers do in the future. But in the future, there are these mutants, right? Not X-Men mutants, but a different kind of mutants.
Okay.
And these mutants are basically there's a lot of prejudice, there's a lot of hate in society for the mutants.
The chat seem excited for this one as well, but I'm just going to zoom in on Jen. What's all the hype with Jen?
Okay. Yeah, I'll get to it. Jen is the best Pink Ranger that ever lived.
Oh wow!
Sorry, Kimberly, Jen is the best Pink Ranger that ever lived.
Shot fired.
But basically, there are these mutants, and there's some prejudice, there's some hate in society for the mutants, and the main bad guy mutant goes back in time. To the year 2001, and so and just before he does that though, he fights the Rangers and he kills the main Red Ranger. So to be fair, Rich, slightly different. Oh no, he doesn't kill the Red Ranger. Sorry, they think he kills the Red Ranger.
Okay.
Right? They think he kills the Red Ranger, but but I don't think he actually kills him because he kind of comes back and he's he's not an active ranger anymore, but they basically put him in the hospital and he's really not in a good way. So Jen then steps up, leads the team, says we need to go back to the year 2001 to find Rancic, who's the main baddie. So they go back to the year 2001 without a Red Ranger, and we get to the year 2001, and there is a guy. I think he's like the mayor of the city or something like that, and his son is a guy called Wes, and Wes is he kind of wants to do good, but he doesn't really know what he wants to do, kind of thing. And then basically the Rangers go up to fight Rancic, get their butts kind of handed to him, and Wes kind of steps in to help out and uses the Red Ranger morpher. It works on him, and he has to win over their trust, basically, but eventually he wins over their trust, becomes a Red Ranger, and I think he's like an ancestor of...
Do they go back to the future then, after they sorted out this bad guy, or do they stay in the year 2000? Or are they from the future and stay in the past type thing?
Yeah, so the 4 Rangers from the future stay in the past in the year 2001 for the majority of the season. Then toward the end of the season, what happens is there are like these... partway through the season, there is another time flux kind of storyline where Eric, who is this Red Ranger you see on the screen, he and Wes go back in time to the dinosaurs, and they discover the Q-Rex morpher, basically. So, just to make a point.
Okay, you got another morpher, have you? Okay, one sec. Why don't we go full camera again? You got to show these things after. People love it. So that is a Time Force Red morpher, or is it something they found?
This is the Time Force Quantum Ranger morpher. So this is the 6th Ranger morpher. So in this season, there were 2 Red Rangers: the main Red Ranger, and then the 6th Special Ranger was the Quantum Ranger.
Same costume design, new costume design.
New costume design, different costume design. So the main Red Ranger, who would have had this morpher.
Okay, yeah. Oh wow, you got that one as well. Very nice.
Yeah. So the main Red Ranger, who would have had this morpher, he has a red and white costume, and then the Special Red Ranger is he has a red and black costume. So they basically look almost the same, but he has a red and black.
Okay, like inverted type thing.
Yeah. So he takes on the power of the Q-Rex, which is this big Tyrannosaurus Rex Megazord, really, really powerful Megazord, and that happens about partway through the season. The mayor of the city has a private sort of security like police force called the Silver Guardians. Eric leads the Silver Guardians as the Quantum Ranger. So he works with the Time Force Rangers when he has to, but he doesn't always. And then toward the end of the season, there are these like time fluxes and whirlpools, and it's not that good and like black holes and stuff. So the 4 future Time Force Rangers, they go back to the future, and Eric and Wes have to fight this like really cool 4-part episode series called The End of Time, where they have to fight Rancic and all of his like army bots, and it's really, really solid storyline. The reason why Jen is such a badass is because she is like, there's no better way to say it. She's a badass. Like she's brutal. She's a great fighter. She's a great leader.
Just say it one more time. I want to try something. Say that she's the best Pink Ranger again.
Jen is the best Pink Ranger of any Pink Ranger from Power Rangers of all time. Shots fired! Shots fired!
Can't believe it. I'm trying to.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Like Kimberly was cool, but Kimberly was cool because she was your childhood crush, right? Like she was a hottie, right? Jen is exactly. I saw someone in the chat earlier said something about Sarah Connor. Jera is Sarah Connor reincarnate. Like she can fight. She is tough. She's a leader, and she's hot. And she has a really good love story dynamic with Wes, who's the Red Ranger, and it's really emotional when she has to leave to go back to the future and they can't be together and that kind of thing.
As I said, you just explaining the concept of these seasons make them a lot more deeper than I would have imagined them to be. Do you know, like in regards to storyline? So it does make me go and want to just watch the first 3 or 4 episodes of each, just so I have a feel, at least know who these characters are. So it would be a big investment to watch all of it. But
so, if I was going to advise you on Time Force, I would probably say watch the first 4 episodes, watch Eric's 4 episodes when he becomes the Quantum Ranger, and then watch the last 4 episodes.
Okay, interesting. I am definitely going to be curious about this after the stream. So have we, in regards to figures, there's picture of everyone here, so I'm assuming they've not made anybody yet in Lightning Collection.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
No, we've had Time Force Red. Sorry, I was reading the chat. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, we've had Time Force Red. I had him in a really awkward pose just then. So this is Wes, who is the main Red Ranger. I'm really hoping that we get. I want Jen and Eric as soon as we can. I mean, the others, I love the others. So they each have their own powers. So Kate is super strong. Trip has his own powers. I can't remember what. Someone help me in the chat. I can't remember what Trip and Lucas's powers are.
So did Trip have to tax being the Green Ranger because he had green hair? Is he like, look, lads, I've got the green hair. No, I need to be the Green Ranger.
He's kind of technical. I'm trying to remember what his powers are though. Cap Lives and Rich and the others, help me out with what the others' powers are. But Cap Lives just made a really good point as well about how Rancic is great and has a tragic backstory. The villains in this season are so complex.
Okay.
Right? The main bad guy is Rancic. He has a good heart, really, by the time you get to the end of the season.
They're conflicted. They're conflicted. They're not just bumbling buffoons, evil for being evil. They have a reason or story.
And it's because of how society treated them because they were mutants. Think like Magneto, right? Like a really complicated villain that
you can understand why his mind is where it is, type thing.
Yeah. And his daughter plays a big role in it, and she can question him sometimes to say, is this really what we should be doing? And their main general, who's a guy called Frax, he's a robot, and he was turned from sort of being a human into a robot, and he has his own tragic backstory and story as well. So it's Rich says Trip's got a gem in his head that reads minds. That's it. So he's mind reading. And then what was Lucas's power? Someone help. But Lucas is a race car driver. I remember that much.
And this was about 2003, 2004. Did you say?
This is 2001. This is 20 years old this year, and that's
so straight after, basically. So that means that Lightspeed Rescue didn't last long then.
No, all of these seasons from now on are only a year long.
Oh wow! Okay, they did switch it up quite a lot.
Yeah, from here they change it each year. They change each year.
I'm surprised that none of these have had figures then. If this show is so popular.
Well, I don't know how popular it is in the grand scheme. I know that with me, it definitely is like a big. I mean, this was like this. I still have the VHS of the finale, the 3 or 4 part finale on VHS. But I used to stay up late and I would watch it on my TV in my room, and then I would sit on the TV. Like my mum used to take the remote for the TV so that I couldn't watch anything, right? But I used to put the cassette in, and then the front of the TV had buttons on it for play, pause,
you could control it.
Rewind.
Yeah.
So, but she used to hear me clicking the rewind button when I would rewind it all the way back to the beginning and stay up late and rewatch it all over again.
Yeah, I think loads of people played that trick on their parents as a kid. Like, I'm taking the remote, you can't watch anything else. And you're like, yeah, fine. And then you can control the TV on the buttons on the screen. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, but they're backing me up. They're saying that Time Force is a highly regarded season. It's an all-time favorite amongst the fandom. So I'm glad that I'm not alone, because for me this is number one.
No, it definitely sounds intriguing. It makes your enthusiasm, and it's definitely the chats and people like Cat Liv and Rob and Rich, and it makes their enthusiasm makes me intrigued by at least dipping my toe in a little bit, just to see who these characters are and see the worlds that they live in, So So yeah, curious.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to start jumping through these now because I'm conscious of time.
Sorry.
Definitely want to. We save the villains for another day, it seems. But we can go through the rest of these Power Ranger teams. Okay, so Dino Force. Is this Disney or
no?
Saban?
This is Wild Force. So this is Disney as well.
Oh my
so
gosh.
So for Disney, for Wild Force, it's basically it's all about animals. So the Red Ranger is the lion. The Blue Ranger is the shark. The Black Ranger is a buffalo. White Ranger is a tiger. Yellow Ranger is an eagle, and the Silver Ranger is a wolf.
No, it looks like basically the White Ranger's a tiger. Oh yeah, tiger, and Silver Ranger's wolf. Okay, you're right.
White tiger, shark, buffalo.
Yeah, you're right.
Wolf, lion, and eagle. So Wild Force is basically based on like the jungle. Cole is kind of like a Tarzan-esque character. His parents died when he was young, so he's kind of only ever been raised in the wild.
Tarzan as a Power Ranger. What would happen if Tarzan?
Literally, like Tarzan is probably the best way to describe him.
Okay.
They have to fight what are called orgs. So they're kind of like monsters as well. So for time's sake, it's kind of like. I mean, this is probably another one of my favorite seasons, just because I loved animals growing up as a kid. So the way they brought it in here, the designs are really unique. The theme tune is like really, really good. Merrick, who's the special sixth ranger there, the Wolf Ranger.
Yeah.
Just for everybody in the chat.
Okay, hang on. Let me full screen it. Brian, I didn't realise you had so many morphers. You never mentioned this to me. You could be a Power. Oh, it looks like a little lion, little wolf face.
It's a wolf. Yes, it's a wolf face. So if I turn it on, yeah, look.
And they all still work as well, Power.
Yeah, still works. Yeah. So he has a really interesting backstory. So basically, there's one of those orgs. He's called Zenaku. He looks like a wolf. There's basically a conflict between Merrick and Zenaku which leads Merrick to being the Grey Ranger, the Silver Ranger. Sorry. So I think if anything prevents this from being a really top tier season, it's probably that the villains were good, but they weren't amazing or outstanding. I don't remember the storyline as much, apart from Cole's storyline about being sort of a Tarzan kind of character.
Yeah.
Parents died when he was young.
The Wolfpack are a fan of Maverick over there. Understandably.
Of Merrick. The only thing
Merrick,
about
Merrick, sorry.
And the only thing about Wild Force and the reason why we might not have seen.
Someone's taking the piss. Someone says, "Love Dan fucking up all the names." Ha 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 ha. Come on now, be kind to me, right? I can't read English, let alone all these weird foreign names.
So Cole, the actor who plays Cole, he basically killed his roommate, or it was manslaughter, they said, of his roommate with a samurai sword, and there was a big legal thing about it.
What?
Yeah, he's currently in jail for manslaughter. So I don't know how
the actual actor is in jail for killing
manslaughter. I think
with a samurai sword. Did he think he was an
rightly.
Actual Power Ranger? And that is some crazy stuff.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So, but this is also the season where Forever Red happens.
Oh,
so
Rob just mentioned that as well. Sorry, carry on. Rob just said
the 9 Power Rangers before Wild Force all come together and they join Cole and they basically they fight the Machine Empire.
So does Rocky and Jason and people, the Red Rangers that I know, come back in? Does Rocky, Jason, Tommy?
The Red Rangers are Jason from Mighty Morphin, Tommy from Zeo, TJ from Turbo, Andros from In
Red.
Space.
Oh yeah.
Orico from the Alien Rangers, Leo from Lost Galaxy, Carter from Lightspeed.
So mainly virtually all of them then so far, basically. If not missed anyone.
Carter from Lightspeed, Wes and Eric from Time Force. So those are the 2 Red Rangers from there, and then which takes us to 9, and then Cole's a 10.
Oh, Rob Pollock says everybody but Rocky comes back. You should have just said that.
Yeah, everybody but Rocky, because Rocky was never a real Red Ranger.
I guess so. He was just there. He was just there. Okay, moving on. Okay, Ninja Storm. Now let me explain to you about Ninja Storm. So Ninja Storm is about the Power Rangers, and obviously they're ninjas as well. Clearly, they get taught these ninja skills by a man in a tube, who also transforms into a storm, a tornado. It's like a tornado in a tube, and
So at first I thought that you were actually gonna.
I have no clue. No clue.
Give me something solid.
No clue.
So Ninja Storm is basically based on samurais, right? So their main mentor, their main mentor is basically, I think he's a guinea pig. Guys, help me out with that.
I love all their funky designs, by the way.
Huh?
I like all their design. Like in the previous Rangers, all their uniforms are very similar, just different colours. These are like mixed up a little bit. They all got like their own little unique twist, if you know what I mean. I guess.
Yeah. So I think the main mentor, he was like a samurai master. I think he gets converted into a guinea pig somehow. I can't remember exactly.
So this is a turtle ripoff, right? Splinter's a rat. These guys have a little guinea pig. They're called Ninja. Yeah. This is the original crossover, right? just no basically. Turtles mentioned. Okay.
Basically. But then they all have their own powers. So I think Tori, who's the Blue Ranger there, she can control water. Dustin can control the earth. Shane, who's the Red Ranger, can control fire. I think Hunter and Blake, I think they start out as like bad Rangers and then become good. And then Cam is the son of the master, and he has a whole story arc where he goes back in time to retrieve, I think it is, to retrieve this special samurai power, which is the Green Ranger, basically. Tragically, the Red Ranger, Shane, he died, I think, last year or maybe the year before last year.
Oh, wow.
Something like that. I can't remember exactly what of.
It's mad when actors that clearly are still really young are still not around anymore.
Oh, air Shane controls. I thought it was fine. My bad.
So elemental. They've got elemental abilities to some degree, I guess.
Yeah. I think if we got Cam, the Green Ranger, as a solo release in a wave, I think one of the accessories would have to be the guinea pig mentor as well.
That would be pretty good.
Just said that would be really cool. It'd be really cool.
So again, all these images are here because not one of these has been made in Lightning Collection yet. That Blue Ranger though rings a bell. Like there are figures or Bandai figures or something.
So the three Rangers in the middle, Dustin, Tori, and Shane, they got
Legacy.
Bandai Legacy.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. The designs like ring a bell in my head, and I thought obviously my brain went straight to toys.
Oh wow. Marcus just dropped a fun fact that I didn't know either. He said this season was going to be called Hexagon and was going to be the Power Rangers version of Marvel Civil War. That's really interesting and something that I would still love to see. So they basically fight against a bad samurai guy called Lothar. He's got a really weird mask thing. I can't remember the story as in depth as I'd like, but it's pretty cool.
So Storm is relative to the element controlling, I guess, like the weather and
I think it's
I guess there's a little connection there. I guess a little connection. So my theory wasn't too far off. All right, I just should have guessed a guinea pig in a tube, shouldn't I? That would have been closer.
Exactly.
I would never have guessed a guinea pig in a million years.
No.
All right. So would you be interested in these figures?
Oh yeah, I would get all of these by far. I
like the so the Blue Ranger's the only girl.
She's the only girl. Yeah,
okay. Right,
and she's a great Ranger as well. Like
fair play.
I liked her a lot.
Fair play. Any more tidbits before we move on?
No, I think that's probably everything with this.
All right, cool. They look cool.
I think this is a really popular season as well.
Do you know what? As we go through these, I'm surprised at how many figures how many teams haven't even got one figure yet. It's crazy. Like I genuinely thought a lot of the teams had one or two characters, but clearly not. Okay, so Dino Thunder now. This is the one. This is out of all of these that we've just talked about. I've never went and rewatched them, but because of this one bloody toy, because of this guy, I went back and watched some episodes of this just so I could understand who this White Ranger was. And it also intrigued me that Tommy was back as well after ages of not being around. and he's the Black Ranger in this. So the only two.
So
yeah, go on. You can break it down. You can break it down.
So basically, what happens with these guys is so Tommy is a teacher. He's a professor. He's a doctor, Dr. Tommy Oliver by this point.
Dr. Tommy Oliver. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, they call him Dr. O. He's their mentor in this season. They basically go to high school. I think he teaches at the high school, if I remember correctly. And they kind of have like a secret base off campus. Connor is the Red Ranger. Kira is the.
Sorry to interrupt. I like the way that Cat Lives has just broke it down and just said Dino Thunder, aka updated Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Okay.
Basically.
Okay, that intrigues me.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing not as crazy stories and a bit more simplistic. These are kids at school with a mentor, aliens, or something.
Yeah, basically, the storyline for this one definitely is somewhat more simplified in that respect because it's more high school setting. So Connor has already been released in the Dino Thunder Red. We've already had Dino Thunder White.
Well, Dino Thunder Red and Blue are not actually out yet, are they?
They're not out in the UK.
Okay.
Dino Thunder Red is out in the US.
Okay. That's the wave.
Thunder Blue.
That's
the next wave.
That's wave 7. That's been delayed until March in the UK, isn't it? That's got Green Ranger Red. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. And then Kira is the Yellow Ranger. So these all got released in the Bandai Legacy line.
Yeah.
So I think they're definitely, and it's a smaller team as well. I say smaller team, it's 5 of them, but it's definitely a popular team. So I think they've done. I think the only one they haven't done now announced is Kira. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got Kira by the end of the year.
Well, they haven't announced Tommy as a Black Ranger yet either. To be fair, we know it's coming though.
True.
We know it's coming.
But that's it's coming. Yeah, it's Tommy, so it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I think for 3 out of the 5, they're very close. So I think they'll close it off soon.
Yeah, after Zeo, this seems like a next team to be finished, I guess.
Yeah, I think so too. But yeah, exactly as Cat Liv says, it focuses more on the characters than it does the story. I think it definitely looks at Tommy. It's a different Tommy. It's an aged Tommy. The Dino Thunder White Ranger starts off as a bad Ranger to begin with.
Yeah, he has like an artist. He's an artist, isn't he? Like draws or something like that.
Yeah, the main villain is, I think, the principal of the school. But he has like a demon alter ego, which is called Mesagog, which is like a dino. It's like a dinosaur alter ego. I
love this design, by the way. This is figure on its own has made me pre-order the red and the blue, and obviously I'll get the black and the yellow. So again, even not seeing this is what these figures can do to me. Even though if I've not seen the show, apart from the little bit I watched to understand him, I like this costume. I like this character design. Do you know the gold, the blacks, the whites? Like I just like it. So that is definitely up there with some of my favourite designs, even though I don't really know much about the character behind the mask. But liking this one. Yeah.
Just quickly, Wolfpack asked in the chat, question for the chat, what happened to Rita and Zed in the continuity? If I remember rightly, I think they become human and get married.
Ah, that's nice.
Something like that, at least. I think they definitely become human, but I can't remember.
I wonder what if Lord Zed looks like human. See, I missed that.
Oh, no, so the principal of the school is the big baddie's hench lady.
When did Bulk and Skull come back? Are they in this?
I think they are, and they appear in different episodes like throughout. So, for example, that Forever Red episode that I told you about.
Yeah.
So at one point, Tommy is sat beside a swimming pool.
Yeah.
And he's on like a lounger, and it's him, but you can't really see his face. And the phone rings, and Bulk and Skull answer the phone, and they're like, oh, it's for him. And then they take the phone over to Tommy. Tommy takes the phone. He takes the phone call, and he's like, "Oh yeah, okay, I'll be there." So like Bulk and Skull pop up here and there throughout.
Isn't one of them really rich now and has a son and stuff like that? Like I swear I've seen some clips where one of them's in a limo or something like that. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they pop up every now and then.
Right.
But this is definitely one of the best seasons.
Yeah, and I'm going to be getting the figures for it as well. So I might have to go back. Okay, so SPD.
Yes.
Teach me. So
SPD is set all the way in the future, like years and years and years, like a long way in the future.
Okay.
It is basically Earth knows about aliens. Aliens, they come and go as they please. Like, aliens live on Earth. Humans live elsewhere in the universe. Is like it's well into the future.
Okay.
Basically, Space Patrol Delta (SPD). It's like a military academy, like a naval academy, like a police academy kind of thing.
Police Academy in space. That sounds like a good film.
Say again.
Police Academy in space.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly like that, basically.
Okay. Does one guy make really weird sound effects? That's a Police Academy reference. Never mind.
Okay.
Those films came out in the 80s. Never mind.
Yeah. And what basically happens is you've got A Squad and B Squad.
Yep.
So the A Squad are SPD's finest. They're on a mission. They get lost on a mission. SPD don't hear from them again, and so B Squad basically have to step up. But the problem is that with B Squad, there's only a blue, a pink, and a green ranger at the time. So what happens is that Z and Jack, who later become the yellow and red rangers, they're kind of like, for lack of a better word, they're like street rats. They hustle and bustle on the streets. They do a lot of like community work to help the community.
Steal bread and have a little pet monkey.
I think so. I think it's like a Robin Hood kind of vibe. Steal from the rich, give to the poor kind of thing. They basically get on the SPD radar. They become the Red Ranger. They become the Yellow Ranger. The Blue Ranger is a bit testy about it because his dad was a Red Ranger and he always wanted to be a Red Ranger.
Okay.
And then for the duration of the season, they're basically fighting bad guys. What happens is it gets revealed toward the later end of the season, spoiler alert, that the A Squad were bad guys all along. And they are working for the main bad guy, who's the Emperor Grum. And
so the A Squad are the coloured rangers, the ones with actual colours.
Say again.
So is the A Squad the main Power Rangers with the colours and numbers on, and the B Squad?
No, that's B Squad.
Okay,
and A Squad are
the ones in the 2-pack with the Blue Ranger.
Yeah.
Okay.
They kind of look like modified versions of the in-space costume.
Okay, they're the main ones. They're the A Squad. They're like the big main guys. Okay.
But we don't properly see them until toward the end. Oops, he just died.
So the coloured Rangers with numbers on them are like wanting to be those guys or trained to become those guys. Okay.
Yeah, and they basically have to step in and cover while A Squad are missing in action.
Okay.
And then partway through the season, so their main mentor, who's the Doggy Kruger, he has a complicated history as well. His home world had a big battle. A lot of his people died, I think, including his wife, but I can't remember exactly. And what he then does is he becomes the Shadow Ranger, which is that one there that you've got. This is like one of the all-time greatest Rangers. And then partway through it as well, you get another Ranger come into play who is the Omega Ranger. So that's the white Ranger on the unicycle. He's like another Ranger from way into their future and comes back to help. And then and then Kat, so the Ranger in the bottom right hand corner, she's kind of like Doggy Kruger's deputy in a way. She's like a cat person. So she has a morph for herself, and she becomes
a cat woman there's a cat woman under that mask, essentially.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I need to Google that. I need to see that now.
Yeah. So, and I think that's like a 1-episode special where she becomes the cat.
Richard's written some notes into here saying that the only other Rangers that could be made are the one-time Ranger, Cat Ranger, Catanova. Yeah. It was better when they just named them after their colour. While Cat only had one appearance as a Ranger, she has been in the Legacy Wars game and is one of the main characters in the fighting game Battle for the Grid. So they do use her, that design again. I like the idea of an Orange Ranger. I've never had an Orange Ranger, have we, I guess?
No. And Nova Ranger is she is a future Ranger, same as Omega. They're on the same team from the future, Nova. So, but these are the only three that we haven't got yet in the line. Pink is coming out in Wave 8. and then green is coming out wave 9.
Yeah, so again, these are other like another series, another incarnation of the Power Rangers I've not seen, but just seeing the figures and the designs of the colors with the numbers down the side, again, I think will look great on display all together.
100%.
And like
100%.
yellow is literally the only one missing. So that's, again, I said earlier that it looks like we're going to be completing, what is it, Dino Thunder? No, it seems like we're going to be completing SPD next.
Yeah, that's the thing. My hope is that by the end of this year we would have finished SPD, In Space, and Zeo.
That would be a good shout. Get a couple more teams finished, yeah.
And Dino Thunder, SPD, In Space, Dino Thunder, and the other one.
Okay, so this is where we stop, because you said your knowledge stops after this, and obviously you knew a lot more than me. I hardly knew anything. I was here this was Brandon's show today. I was just here along for the ride. But so we're obviously going to stop here because we're already in 2 hours and 20 minutes as it is.
Yes.
But we did want to briefly mention that the next Power Rangers, it comes out like this weekend, right? Dino Thunder, Dino Fury.
Apparently, yeah.
So this is the brand new one. This is Hasbro's own. The first, like, is this the first ever Hasbro one, or was that Beast Morphers as well?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Not sure.
But either or, this is the brand new one. The new incarnation comes out this week. So obviously there's lots more after SPD that we didn't get into, but we're stopping because our knowledge stops after that. So we don't really want to talk about stuff we don't know about.
Yeah. Apparently Power Rangers RPM, which I think comes after, I think it's 1 or 2 after SPD. Apparently that's like an all-time great Power Ranger season. I've not seen it personally, but apparently it's great.
Yeah, maybe we'll do some research, and maybe we can come back and go through some of these other Power Ranger things, because as I said, like, I had loads of villains ready to go today. Like, Richard got us some villains, but we're obviously not going to get to them today. So we obviously saved the Power Ranger villain talk for another stream, because look,
yes.
But we will just throw this one up there just for one little tease. So we'll do another Power Ranger stream, people. If you enjoyed this one, please let us know if you like to switching it up from just Legends. As I said, me and Brandon do like talking about other things, but usually the numbers dip when we're not talking about Legends. So if you like this type of content and would like to hear us talk about Power Rangers some more, please let us know in the chat, in the comments, wherever it may be. We do appreciate it. And because I definitely want to talk about villains. Like, we know now we're getting Monster Deluxe packs. We've got the Pumpkin Rapper. We've got the King Thinks. So there's lots of other monsters out there that I would like in figure form for my Mighty Morphin display. So I'm sure Brandon has lots of suggestions as well. So I think we will do another stream on Power Ranger Villains. That's for sure. Like, as I said, good old Rich has already sorted this out. So, but this is just a quick tease, little most wanted. So these would be fun figures. Again, like, I don't know if these were, I don't know. Bulk and Skull are like iconic if you're a fan of the original TV show. Like, they're in the show just as much as the original Power Rangers in every episode virtually. Just the bumbling sort of idiots that always try and, they're bullies basically to the actual Rangers, but they're just idiots really. But they're fun. Ninja, I remember. Is it Ninja?
Ninja, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. He's, again, I remember having him as a figure as a kid, a toy. He was like a little bit bigger than some of the other figures I had, but I remember having him as a kid. He was in Mighty Morphin in that, again, in the Ninja era and stuff like that. Love him. Phantom Ranger, who's that one, Brandon?
Phantom Ranger, I can't remember. I want to. Looks like it could be Turbo, but I can't remember personally.
Rich reminded. Rich has probably written it down for us here. Hang on, one sec. Rich has put some great show notes together, and I should have been reading them the whole way through. Do apologise, Rich, if we missed out any of your.
Ranger, never an official Ranger. The Phantom Ranger helped both Turbo and In Space Rangers. He's the only Ranger whose identity has never been revealed.
Do you know why?
Interesting.
I'm going to tell you right now. This is a spoiler alert. All right, this is just for you and the people watching. I am the Phantom Ranger.
Yes, absolutely.
It's me. Dan is the Phantom Ranger.
Knew it.
See? Secrets. I've got secrets, people. I got secrets. But I would love... He looks like a cool character design, but I think out of all of them, I love Ninja the best. Just because I remember it as a kid. Like, my attachment to that, I remember it. Bulk and Skull would be fun, but we haven't seen them do full civilian characters yet in figure form. So, but I would love to see civilian characters in Rangers. I know might make a boring toy in the marketer's eyes, but I guarantee if you put like out a 5-pack of all the Power Rangers in their civilian outfits, but then also packed in a little Power Ranger helmet so you knew who they were or whatever, I think it would sell. And then, how would you say that girl's name, Brandon? I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. The girl from the movie.
I'm not sure. I want to say something like Dolcia. I feel like this, like Dolce and Gabbana kind of thing. I feel like it's a Dolcia, but I don't know.
I might put it in the old Google Translate and see what Google says. She's going to change it to some sort of Swedish. Let's have a look.
Dulce.
Apparently it translates. Apparently it's Romanian and it translates to sweet in English.
Sweet.
Oh wow.
Dulce.
Interesting.
Dulce.
Now we know she's sweet. She would be a great figure, by the way. Great figure. From the movie, of course. Loving that. I think they're trying to help us in the chat. Dulcia. The thing is, people break it down for me. Like, my dyslexicness doesn't make a difference. If you break it down, it makes no difference to me. It doesn't help my brain. My brain's still like, I don't know how to make those sounds. Dulcia. I don't know. I'm just going to stop embarrassing myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, people. Okay, so we're going to leave it there. So we did have, for the record, lots of villains we wanted to talk about. I wanted to throw up some old school villains on the screen and see if you remembered their names and knew what series they were from and stuff like that. I thought that would be fun. But it seems like we could save that for another stream now because
yeah, for sure.
Had a lot of Power Ranger fucking knowledge in my brain tonight. Now I need to go and actually go and watch some Power Rangers.
Some of it.
Yeah,
sure.
I genuinely though, like I'm not just saying that. Like hearing you talk about it genuinely makes me intrigued. Do you know, as I said, to just check it out, just to dip my toe in and see who these characters are and see how they morph and all of that sort of stuff. See the worlds that they're in. Like you said, some of them like skip right to the future, and then we've got a Tarzan Power Ranger as well. Like crazy. They jump all over the place.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's been fun, people. So any last thoughts? Any last queries? Any last questions about anything we've talked about today? Please let us know in the chat right now. We'll stick around for another few minutes as we wrap up here. But just overall, Brandon, from what we've talked about today, give us your sort of top 3 teams that you would like completed for your show.
Top 3 teams I'd like completed would probably be Time Force is my number 1, even though we're a long way off. I would probably say Time Force.
So Time Force have none so far, right?
Just one.
Okay, one. Okay.
They got 1 out of 6 so far. And then I would go SPD because we're really close, almost there. And I would probably say, other than that, it's tough. That 3rd place is tough. It's between I'm gonna cheat and I'm gonna say Ninja Storm.
Okay.
Because they've had none.
That's fine. That's 3 teams.
That would be good. Because we're so close to getting the others done.
Yeah, that's fine.
That I would. Yeah.
I was just curious, like, because I know you're picking and choosing, like you're not buying every Lightning Collection figure. So I was just curious, what are the teams that are gonna make you go, okay, well, if I get this one, I'm going to have to get the whole team type thing. So, yeah, always curious. So
basically, every team between Mighty Morphin and SPD, apart from Turbo.
Okay.
I'll finish those teams for sure.
That's easier done. The Wolfpacks is no side. Basically, I did have side out. I've drank it all, and no one's in my house to go and get some, unfortunately. So I do feel quite parched. So we're going to wrap up and get myself a drink. But I think for me, Brandon, it's got to be Zeo.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, sorry, yes.
Considering we're so close, I say Dino Thunder. So Zeo, we need pink and yellow. Dino Thunder, we need black and yellow. So that's technically only 4 new figures I need to complete 2 teams, 2 more teams. But yeah, again, I've got what is it? Dino Charge figures down there. I've got a couple. I've got the dog from the SPD. So like, I've got little random ones. I've got the what is it? The Phantom Ranger guy. I've got random ones. So like, maybe I will end up completing the teams. Who knows? But always curious to hear your thoughts, people. So do let us know. As I said, you can leave a message in the comment of this chat as well. But we're going to wrap it up here today. So let's just quickly mention as well, Brandon, I think it's going to happen. I'm going to behave. I'm going to try and be as nice as I can.
I think this time tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'll see what's going on. And if definitely at this time, definitely the same time tomorrow. But if we can push it, are you available? If we can push it, just an hour or so, or is that?
Yeah, I'm thinking. I don't know. I could do the whole. I don't know how long I can stay around.
Well, do you know what? It's just a one-off special anyway. So if we just come on at 8, like we usually do, recap. Doesn't have to be a 2 hour. Doesn't have to be a 2 hour stream tomorrow. We can just come on and for an hour and a half, whatever, just talk about the reveals, because we can always come back around to them next week anyway. Do you know? So we'll put it here, people. We're making it official, all right? Somehow, some way, even if I'm streaming off my phone in the garage, me and Brandon will be back tomorrow. Maybe some guests, if anyone's available. Let me know in the Discord, of course. Always putting the Discord loyalty first. But yeah, anyone who wants to be interested, let me know, and maybe we can make it happen, but maybe not. Next week will be a guest stream as well. But tomorrow, me and Brandon at least will be back to recap the Marvel Legends from the Fan First Friday, the first one of 2020. All right, so we'll be back tomorrow. I will try and set up the scheduled stream today, so it reminds you that we're going to be back tomorrow. Hopefully recapping some really good Marvel Legends, people, all right? Hopefully. I'm hoping they reveal some type of MCU-ness, something. I know it probably won't be the Disney Plus stuff, but I need my MCU fix in some regard, so maybe tease it at least. Give us something. I don't know. Ryan, Dan, Dwight.
I'm hoping.
Come on now.
Even if we just get Wanda and Vision revealed.
Yeah.
You know, and they say, oh, you know, more is coming along the line. But even if we just even if we get those two, I'll be happy. Just because I want to see if we're going to get repaints or if we're going to get something new.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, we haven't seen Wanda
updates or something.
We haven't seen the. I do think they're going to save all the Disney Plus stuff until after WandaVision, because there may be we may get Monica Rambeau in a certain way. We could see Wanda in a different outfit. Like, we don't know. Potential's there. So I'm not holding my breath for Disney Plus stuff tomorrow. But if this Infinity Saga stuff is true, it would have been revealed at Toy Fair, which means they know something. Maybe Infinity Saga stuff at least. Maybe. We shall see. But me and Brandon will be back tomorrow. Next week will be our guest stream. It's the last stream of the month. So I think that's where we're going to do our guest stream. So the last stream, Thursday of every month, we'll do a live stream where we bring in some guests. I'm going to work it out a little bit better this time. Schedule people in for times. And so everyone can have like a decent 20 minutes on screen maybe. Might start a little bit earlier. Might finish a little bit later. We'll figure it out. But we'll be back tomorrow all the same. If you want to get involved, as always, people, Instagram, DM me on the Discord. Brandon's obviously always available as well. You can always let him know. Always curious to get people involved. As I said, it's a community we're building here, people. And if I didn't have you guys to talk to toys to about, I'd explode, because my missus really doesn't care. She just doesn't care. If it was up to her, she'd sell all of this and go on holiday. What would we have to show for it, apart from memories? I like physical memories. I like physical. Checking. Right, Brandon, tell the people.
Nostalgic memories.
Yes, exactly. Because it can live forever. A memory in your brain can fade away. All right. If I grow up old and like my memories start disappearing, these things will bring it back to me in physical form. Never mind. Brandon, where can the people find you online?
As always, guys, Instagram, hero.collection is the best place to get me. It's been a pleasure talking Power Rangers with you all today. It's been really great seeing everybody. 65 people solid, 70, 80 people in the chat today has been amazing. So, that's a nice looking lockjaw. You know what's going to be really interesting is I'll talk about a little bit this time tomorrow is who is the aerospace engineer in WandaVision?
Oh, do you reckon?
We'll see.
Do you know what?
We will see. Who's it going to be?
Obviously, when WandaVision's finished, we'll do a whole stream where we can just talk about WandaVision for the whole thing. But
is it going to be Blue Marvel? Is it going to be Mr. Fantastic? Is it going to be
who do you want it to be? Okay, who do you want it to be? Who do you want it to be? You're in the writer's room. Kevin Feige turns around and goes, "Oh, Brandon, I didn't see you sitting there, mate. Let me know who you want this engineer to be."
I want it to be Reed Richards for the break the internet moment.
Yeah, that'll be good.
I want it to be Blue Marvel, Adam Brashear for a personal moment. I would take either of those two.
So,
if it's not either of those two,
if it's not a new character, if it's someone we've already seen within the MCU before, any predictions?
Rhodey, maybe.
He's not an engineer.
He's not an engineer though. He's military, but I kind of was thinking aerospace, but not Rhodey.
Is Salvik? Is Eric Salvik? Is he an engineer?
Salvik is a physicist, but could be Salvik. Okay. I'm just trying to think. Who would Monica Rambeau have crossed paths with as part of Sword?
I reckon it's a Skrull. I reckon it's a Skrull.
Oh yeah, so true.
It could simple as that. It's just going to be a Skrull.
Oh yeah, that's it. You're right.
Because there was that little girl Skrull in Captain Marvel as well. She'd be older now as well. Or it could be like Talos. It could be someone we've already seen. I just think it's as simple as it's a Skrull. Simple as that. But we shall hopefully.
I think it could be something like that.
Hopefully, we find out tomorrow, and they don't just tease it. I was so annoyed at the end of last episode because it just ended. It was like building, and she expanded it, and I was like, "Where are we going?" And then 19 minutes of credits, and all these hour-long episodes. They're not going to be an hour long. They're going to be like 40 minutes with 20 minutes of credits.
Yeah, it'd be like I think it'd be between 40 and 50 minutes.
Yeah,
maybe not 35, 40 minutes, something like that.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. Anyway, we'll find out tomorrow. I will be watching at 8 a.m. That's for sure. As soon as it goes up, so we will all catch you then.
Yes, people. Sorry, I'm just stroking Lockjaw there. Yeah, like an evil villain. Yes, people. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you next week. All that good stuff. You know the score. Follow me on Instagram. It's Dan Who. On Twitter as well. Dan Who Reviews. That's where I post what I'm doing most of the time. Thank you to everyone who stuck around. Thank you for everyone who shares it in their story. Much appreciated. Always reshare them as well. Spreading the love. As I said, one little community here. The Discord is there as well. Links in the description below for the Discord. And next week is the guest stream. So if you want to get involved in the chit chat, we can talk about WandaVision, the Marvel reveals from this week. We could talk about them next week. Talk about their favorites. Lots of that Marvel panel is going to be a good time for us, Brandon. That worked out well.
I'm so excited. All
right, people. But until then, you know the score. My name's Dan W. Subscribe if you haven't. If you're here and I'm assuming you have subscribed. But bye-bye.